All right, hey everybody. Hope you can hear me okay here. What's happening? Good to see everyone. We are back in action Friday night, 6th of February, 7 p.m., 7:05 to be exact. Great to have you guys. Let me know if you can hear me okay. I want to make sure this thing is it's all running. I'm switching up the software a little bit, so I want to make sure that we are good with audio, video, everything. Good to have you guys. What's going on, Jasmine? How you doing, Brian? Lady Ann? Exactly, Nick. I had to do a test fire. 5x5? Okay, great, Jasmine. Thank you. Appreciate it. Awesome, Mark. Thank you, Lisa. Good to have you, Nick. Great to see everyone. Thanks so much for being here with me on Friday night. We got an amazing show. Tonight, we are talking about, first of all, we are going to definitely dive into the Epstein files. We're going to dive into the latest shocking news and the list of who's on there. We're also going to talk about Iran and what the Trump strategy is for Iran right now and what the plan is, where we're going with this. Okay? But before we do all that, I've got a really inspiring story that I'm going to cover. And it's really, many of you know him, GaryVee, Gary Vaynerchuk. He is, beyond the hustle of Gary Vaynerchuk, we're going to talk about, okay? He is a high-impact social media marketing guru, okay? And you see GaryVee making these clips about him working 20 hours a day, but what you don't see is a lot of his kindness, his sympathy, his compassion, all those things like that. And you might see that more and more now, and not just the hustle and grind culture that he was notorious for creating. So we're going to go through that as well, too, as our leadership blueprint, our success, and our inspirational blueprint, motivational blueprint. Because again, the purpose of this channel, if you're just joining us the first time here, the purpose of this channel is to upgrade your life. The Ferocious Optimist podcast, Ben Pappas show, whatever you want to say. We got the best chat in YouTube, and you guys are absolutely amazing, and I appreciate all of you. So we are going to uplift each other. We're going to grow together, learn together. We're going to look at the operating context, what we always do. What is the situational update, the sit rep, the situational update going on in the world, going on in our country, okay? We'll talk a little bit about Bitcoin, what's going on there as well, too. As you guys know, I'm always keeping an eye on that for a good reason. But we are then on our third act, okay? First act, leadership and inspiration and success strategies. Second act is going to be the sit rep, right? The situational report of what's going on in the world right now. And we'll talk a little bit about Bitcoin, what's going on there as well, too. Do is we're going to go into our leadership lessons of South Park act. Okay, third act is our comedy and our satire, and we're going to kick off the weekend with a good laugh and have a great time. So that is what is happening. Glad you guys can be here. Let's get right into this thing because this is going to be awesome. And again, as always, make sure we're going to go. Make sure that you like, subscribe, and share. If you know somebody's going to get something out of this, go ahead and share the live stream so they can get there and check it out. I didn't get a chance to do any posts or any Instagram advertising on the stories to spread the word. So I'm going to depend on you guys in the community to spread the word. We got this amazing chat. I appreciate all you guys. Let's go ahead and get right into this. So I'm going to open this up with Gary Vaynerchuk, okay? Who is Gary V, and what is he all about? And I think opening it up with this video is going to really, is definitely going to be a eye-opener for some people, okay? But if you know him, you'll know this is what he's all about. Here we go.
400 trillion to 1. When you understand that math, how can't you live your life? That's how rare it is to be a human being. And what are you waiting for? Like, you've been given this ridiculous triple miracle. Like, you're literally more likely to win the lotto 10 times in your life than actually have a life. So I ask you, my friends, with this one life, you're gonna sit on your couch and dwell? You're gonna be upset about some shortcoming? You're gonna be upset about that thing that happened last week that fucked you up? I'm asking you, I'm promising you, please take this swing. Make this at bat. I am so tired of people stopping because their uncle critiqued them, or their mom made fun of them along the way, or their girlfriend doesn't think that they can do it. You've got one at bat. 400 trillion to 1. Please do something about it. We are living through the greatest era to be alive ever. So please, please squeeze the shit out of your one life.
Damn, I'll tell you what, man, that fires me the hell up. Yeah, put it in the chat. Give me a 1 if that fired you up. Put it in the chat. Give me a 1. If that fired you up, that got you pumped, you know, give me a 1 right there, because he's you know, he's definitely amazing. Okay. Oh, are you really? Nick, you hearing that? Is it better now, guys? Is the audio better? Because I had something a minute ago popped up on mine too, and it said I had to rejoin. It said tap to rejoin or something like that. So, but yeah, put a 1 in the chat if that motivated you, that fired you up, okay? And if you guys missed it, I can play it again. You know, I can play that again if anybody missed that. But it's absolutely motivating, super, yeah, just really something. I tell you what, okay, thanks, Brian. Thanks, Mark. I appreciate it, Lisa. And you guys can hear me again. You hear me okay now? No problem. Good to go. Exactly, right? Okay, great. And you guys, tell me play again. Just write play again if you guys need me to play that video again if you missed it, okay? I want to make sure everybody saw that one. That's it's definitely a motivator. You know, 400 trillion to 1. When you think about that, that's pretty incredible, the odds of you being alive and what Gary's talking about. So I'm going to go ahead and I am going to put a little chat here. I'm going to put a little poll. You guys know I'm up for the polls, right? Here we go. Do you want to start a business? Say, do you want to start a business? I'm going to say this. Are you in business? Okay, do you own a business? Or do you want to start one? Okay. Own one. Start one. Want to, but afraid to. Number 3. Boom! The first poll has launched. I knew you guys were waiting for it. We're there. Do you it's actually, do you own a business, or do you want to own a business? Start one? Own one? Right now. Do you want to start one? Want to, but afraid to. Hey, awesome, Phoenix. Glad you're here. I didn't do a whole lot of advertising for this one. Flying Arrow, what's happening? Great to have you. Lady Ann, Becky, what's going on? I don't think I said hi yet. Mark, anybody I missed, let me know. Great to have you guys here. Let's get this party started. We're going to get rocking and rolling here in a minute. Firing it up. Okay, so we're talking about Gary Vee right now. And, you know, the thing with Gary Vee is he is the original hustle and grind guy, okay? And we all see the clips of Gary Vee yelling about working 20-hour days, doing all that stuff like that. But if that's all you see, you're missing really what he's all about, okay? And you're missing the signal in the noise. And that's why I started off with that video, because he's really an inspirational guy, and he's had a lot of success in business. He has worked his brains out, okay, for sure. I'm not going to lie to you. He's given me a lot of inspiration for the delivery of what I do in my business, okay, as my coaching, my executive coaching, business consulting, business coaching practice, and also life coaching practice too. But he's really given me great inspiration for scaling everything, digitizing everything being online, on YouTube, on Zoom calls, so that I can reach as many people that want to join, okay? And then also the social media marketing campaigns that I've run for 7 years now. He has been a major influence for me. And I really thought to myself, I was like, what's something I can really share that can make an impact in everyone's life tonight? And I thought, why haven't I talked about Gary Vee yet? You know? And so that's why I'm bringing him to you guys, because I really think no matter what you're doing, you want to be a fitness influencer, you got to follow social media, influence media, marketing. Okay. You want to have a new career, you want to get hired for a new job, social media is the way, okay? I can't tell you. I recently had a few opportunities come my way, just in a flurry. Where have people been watching me? Social media, okay? All over LinkedIn, YouTube quite a bit, Instagram, you name it. But they find you, they see you through these things. So if you're not using it, this segment is for you. This segment is, I'm giving you a new weapon system, right? A new tool for your tool belt, your toolbox that can help you in whatever you're doing for your career, your business, a new thing you're starting. You want to get discovered. You want to start like some type of new business, a service, a product, whatever it is. Or you want to just create some type of social network and outreach with people. It can do wonders for you. So let's get into this, okay? And then also we're going to talk about a lot of the values behind the things that will reinforce you to perform well and survive and keep your sanity, honestly, as you go through all this. Because, you get out there and all of a sudden you're playing around millions of people and anybody can access you. And so you got to have your reasons straight why you're doing it, okay? But today we're going to deconstruct Gary Vee a little bit, and who turned a local liquor store, his dad's store, into a global media empire using 3 things. Here are the 3 big things: empathy, attention. He always talks about attention, and accountability. All right. We're going to have our own accountability investigation going on later when we go into the Epstein files. That's for sure. So stick around for that. Okay. Remember to like and subscribe. Please, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. I'm always surprised at how many views I see, whether it's a few hundred or it's a few thousand. And then it shows me how many people who are subscribed who watched. Okay. And it's usually something like, 25%, 20% are subscribers, 80% are not. Okay. And so if you're watching right now, you see this in the replay, please subscribe. It helps out the channel, helps me to fulfill my mission of creating positive, lasting change in the lives of others by teasing the algorithm, pushing it a bit to push it out to more people. So thank you so much. And also remember, please, to share if you think this can impact somebody and help somebody. All right. So let's talk a little bit about Gary Vee, his rise from Wine Library to VaynerX. All right. Before I do that, I'm going to play this next little video from him. I think this will be a good one as well. Here we go.
People are scared to take a financial step backwards for their happiness. It is almost unacceptable in almost all societies around the world to downsize your home, sell your home or apartment, and get a smaller one. That is like, no. People are worried about what people perceive. You had a Lexus, now you have a Toyota, that's a problem. Whereas for me, if we can ever eliminate that stigma in society, we'll have a much happier world, because then people will do that, save dollars to be able to go after their dream. I can't be a singer and do open mics and not make money. I've got to keep being this corporate executive. Well, you don't have to if you can downsize. But then imagine people with families. I have incredible empathy. If you're a mother or father and you're the breadwinner and then you come home and now that your kids have to share a room, who wants to come home and see their 7 and 4-year-old go from their own rooms and a nice backyard, and we're going to move to a neighborhood that might be not as nice, no backyard, and you're sharing a room? That is very challenging. The problem is, I think if someone is living unhappy, much bigger challenges are in front. Resentment, unhappiness, alcoholism, escapism, in all sorts of different ways that tend to lead to problems.
I'm going to tell you right now, there is some real wisdom in what he's saying. Obviously, and I'm going to leave this up for a minute.
Nano Banana Pro
I'm going to
is
leave this
now
up.
on Artlist.
I don't know what they're...
Get Google's most up-to-date model and all the leading AI models on Artlist. Subject consistency, spot on. Text rendering.
Hold on, they're trying to get a little sneaky.
Buy anything.
Trying to get a little sneaky. We're not going to let them. All right, back in action. So, what I want to say is that, he had some great wisdom that he brought up there, saying that if you're doing these things and you're completely strapped for the appearance of success, okay, the trappings of success, but you don't have actual real success, then I'm going to leave this up here, the 400 trillion to 1, okay? And Gary Vee, thank you for creating the video and giving us this data point. But if you are trapped by the appearance of the trappings of success, this will create escapism. You're going to resort to escapism. You're going to resort to possibly alcoholism, possibly resentment, all these things like that, okay? And so his point that, you have to know, and this is what I do with my clients all the time. We do it in my Ferocious Optimist coaching membership. And just, it's a very common sense thing, but common sense is not so common when we're under stress. but really getting clear on what you want, number one. And number two, why are you doing what you're doing? Please ask this of yourself. Why do you want what you want? The deeper reason why. And then what do you really want? Okay, and I don't mean like, what do you want? Do you want blue or red? Or do you want, this car or that car? Like, go deeper. Why do you want those things? And it's okay to want those things. There's nothing wrong with wanting those things. But I'm saying at a fundamental level, why are you doing what you're doing? When you understand that, you can create multiple options for success and multiple pathways to fulfill your needs, your desires, all those things like that, okay? But you got to get really clear and focused about what it is you want and why you want it, okay? It makes a huge, huge difference, okay? And so we'll talk a little bit more about Gary Vee here, okay? And so he rose up from wine library to Vaynerchuk. He had the immigrant mindset. He was born in Belarus. All right. He moved to the U.S. and started stuffing envelopes for his father's liquor business for $2 an hour. Okay. He was from the Soviet Union. Belarus was behind the Iron Curtain. Came over here. And then in the late 1980s, he recognized the power of the internet before most CEOs. He transitioned Wine Library, his father's business, to one of the first e-commerce wine sites, growing revenue from $3 million to $60 million in 5 years. Content pioneer is what he really was. He launched Wine Library TV on YouTube in 2006. Can you imagine he's on YouTube in 2006? Can you even imagine that? Okay. Significant, right? Totally significant. And so in the process, he created this new brand, this new platform. He proved that content, okay, and this is very important for all of you out there. Very important. Again, my purpose is to upgrade your life with this podcast, the Ferocious Optimist podcast, Ben Pappas show on YouTube, whatever you want to say, okay? Best chat in all of YouTube, by the way. Thank you to all you guys. But, okay, he realized that content is the variable of success. No matter what you're doing, trust me, believe me, put content out there. Talk about what's important to you. What do you like? You can build a tribe of people. Okay, you can be a leader. All right? Leaders have more agency, more influence, more options, more opportunities. They get paid more money. I don't care if you're the leader of the dog lovers club, whatever it is. But you put out content so you gather other like-minded people to you. Okay? Like we're all here together now. All right? So it's very important you understand that. And one of his big things is the day trade attention. Gaining attention. How do you gain and maintain attention? All right? If you're trying to get a new job, for example, you want to let people know, first of all, you're looking for a job. Second of all, what are your skills? You can do all that through content strategy. Okay? Again, this is stuff I work on with people as a business coach. I work on people on how to build their businesses, how to gain more market share. But I'm going to tell you right now, Gary Vee is a master of it. He puts out a ton of free stuff. All right. So again, I thought to myself, what's the best way I can serve everyone tonight in the opening act in our leadership segment, our profile, okay, our leadership profile, success profile, because I always want to lead off with some good news and I'll lead off with something inspirational for all you guys. All right. Don't worry. We're going to get into the hard truths really soon. Okay. If you're new here, we will soon get into the Epstein files and we're going to get into the Iran situation and what Trump's plans are, President Trump's plans are for Iran. And then later in the third act, we're going to get into our leadership lessons of South Park and have a great time, laugh a bit before we kick off the weekend, all right? But right now, this inspirational story of Gary Vee, okay, content is king. You have to make content, okay? If you want to grow your business, if you want to make people aware that you're out looking for a new job, if you're trying to start a business. All right, let's see where we're sitting with our poll right now. Okay, I've got 18%. Do you own a business or do you want to start one? Own one, 18%. Start one, 55%. 27% say they want to, but they're afraid to. 11 votes. If you haven't voted in our poll yet, please vote, okay? And we're going to get into this because I think we can help each other here, okay? Again, all right, hey, what's up, the Diamond Dog? Good to have you. Joe Saunders, what's up, man? Good to have you here, brother. All right, let's keep on rolling here. Let's listen to Gary Vee a little bit in this talk he's given. Actually, I think this is the one. Yep, this is the one we want to do. Here we go.
You were asking for a 1% life. You were saying, I am gonna live in the 1% where I live on my own rules, on my own back, where I have full control, where I do not have an employer. Of course it should be hard. There's no crying in baseball, they say. Well, there's definitely no crying in business. What do you want from me? Everything is hard. Do you understand that everything that is great is hard? When you were saying, I'm going to be an entrepreneur, and I'm...
Yeah, I mean, that is so true. That's so true. That everything, if you want to be an entrepreneur, this is hard stuff. This is not easy, okay? And I think it's, so as I see, and yeah, Lisa, that's it. Your vibe attracts your tribe, 100%. And guys, give me a 1 in the chat if y'all are tracking on this, if this is making sense, if you see the direction I'm going in with this story with Gary Vee, because I want to make sure we're all tracking together, we're all on time, on target. Give me a 1 in the chat. I'll make sure we're all right in there. Okay? But this is the thing. If you're looking to start a business, all right, you just have to understand what you're getting into. You have to understand that, and I'm not going to dissuade anybody. I'm not trying to make it seem harder than it is. Definitely, okay, thank you, Lady Ann, appreciate it. Definitely get in there and get after it. But just understand, if you have to understand, why are you going into business in the first place? What do you want to do? And understand the amount of work it takes, okay? La Diamond Dog, I love it. I'm an entrepreneur and I still have no clue what I'm doing since day one. I hear you. There's a lot to learn all the time. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, La Diamond Dog. Lisa, I appreciate it. Phoenix, thank you. Farrah Wildflowers, thank you. Joe Saunders, I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Okay, everybody's tracking. Great. Lady Ann, thank you. Okay, so because I want to make sure that we all understand, and again, it doesn't matter if you just want to work in your career and you're an employee. Trust me, it's a great move. You can make a lot of money, have a good life, have a secure life, you can know what your schedule is, all these things like that. But still, content is still king. Okay, let's get back on this topic. Content is still king for you. Okay, and so you can promote yourself, show yourself at the conference, show yourself making the new move at work. Show the journey of the work you put in, the dedication, display your skill sets, display your certifications, all these things, okay? Because you're setting yourself up through social proof. It's a thing called social proof, that you have people that believe in you, recognize you. You have your own testimonials from people that, even through comments, saying, yeah, you're really great at this. You're doing that. Get recommendations on LinkedIn if you don't have them yet. And if you guys haven't checked out my LinkedIn yet, go to LinkedIn, check out my LinkedIn page. I've probably got, 7 to 10 recommendations on there. And I'm saying that for all of you. I don't care if you're 18 or you're 80, okay? And if you're 86, for my mom. So if you're 18 to 86 or 90, 18 to 90, get LinkedIn, use LinkedIn, okay? Why? Because they can write recommendations for you, okay? People that have worked with you. I don't care if it seems cheesy. Get a recommendation on there. Someone can say, you know what? He's a hard worker. She's a really hard worker. She's really good at Microsoft Excel. He can really write some damn emails. Boy, I remember, and I'm going to tell you something. I saw this kid once. It was like midnight. I went to McDonald's. Don't worry about why, Lisa. Don't worry about why I was going to McDonald's. But I was going to McDonald's, midnight. This dude's in there. I was so impressed. So impressed. It was during the snowstorm. Okay? And this kid, not a kid, young man, probably like 25, 24, freaking on fire. He's running the whole McDonald's by himself. And I thought to myself, good Lord Almighty, this guy is going to be a future entrepreneur, a CEO, something. He is on freaking fire. And so he might think it's not so cool, I don't think so. He had a real go-getter attitude. But I want to tell you, to me, that's very impressive. You said in the snowstorm, I ran a multi-million-dollar restaurant by myself at night. running orders, delivery, cooking. I mean, maybe he had someone in the back there, but I don't think so. He was hustling. One window, the next window, running back in there, running back out. I pull him through the drive-thru. On fire, tough. It was cold as hell, snowing. And I was like, good Lord, I'd hire that dude in my company. I'd have him work for me. He's the only one that showed up. He said, I'm going to find a way. The owner's probably like, hey, you get in there, I'll pay you overtime, pay you double pay maybe. I don't know. That kid's like, watch this. I'm going to find a way. I'm finding a damn way to get to. I'm finding a way. Finding a way to get to work, okay? And that's the attitude. You can take a page out of this kid's book. But my broader point is this. Whatever you feel may be an accomplishment that you can get a recommendation about or that you can post about and talk about, don't care what people think. You got to stop with the caring what people think. Because pretty soon, you'll do something so remarkable, so consistently at a high level, good level, that might not be sexy at the time. It might not seem cool, but I'm going to tell you what, high performance over a long period of time is very cool, and it will make you a lot of damn money. And then guess what? Making a lot of damn money is pretty freaking cool, okay? And so I'm saying this to a lot of young people out there, anybody of any age. Don't be ashamed and say, well, it's not what I see on the internet. It's not what I see on social media. I sound so 90s right now. Not what we see on the internet. Not what we see on social media. Not what I see on TikTok or Instagram or Snapchat. Everybody's balling out with Lambos. Yeah, they're rented leased Lambos or whatever for the most part, right? Okay, and they blew their whole paycheck to get it. So it's super cool to be good at something. I don't care what you're good at. Show it off. Again, Gary Vee. That's what we're focusing on. Gary Vee, the content king. Okay, marketing strategy king, who has inspired me to do what I do, and it has made me a lot of money. Okay, I wrote to him once personally and told him thank you. Okay, I read some of his books. This was early on when I was first starting out, 8 years ago. 8 years ago, yeah. I read one of his books. I read Crush It, and I'm like, I'm going to try this out. And I was like, holy crap, it worked. And so I wrote him a couple messages. I think I wrote him one or two messages just to let him know. Who knows? He didn't respond back to me. But I wanted to let him know for whatever it matters, or someday he can go back in his archives and be like, oh, okay, damn, cool. Because his stuff was inspiring, and it works. So that's why I'm bringing it to you. Here we go. Day trading attention is one of his big strategies. Attention over everything. Gary teaches that if it doesn't matter how good your product is, if no one is looking at it, okay? If no one knows about the kid in the McDonald's running the whole thing in the snowstorm, I'm telling the story. It's very impressive. Okay, maybe he wants to be a movie star or a rock star. Maybe he wants to be a pro baseball player. That's all super cool, right? Very impressive for someone who's a business owner to see someone who's a badass who can run your organization. Because you know what? If he had the right money, the right team, I bet that guy could run his own show. I bet this young man could run his own show, run his own organization, run his own restaurant. No kidding. Go-getter. That's very cool. But if no one knows about it, it didn't happen. We used to have a saying in the Marine Corps, in MARSOC, especially in the Marine Raider battalions, if we don't have pictures of it, it didn't happen. Okay? It's so important. I didn't realize we were ahead of our time back then. Okay? But it's very important that you create content for these things. Okay? Very, very important. Let me see here. Let's check out our poll. Let's see where our poll's at. And check out any questions we have as well, too, as I'm rolling here. Big Mac attack, Joe Saunders. That's right. Feral Wildflowers. It's not just promoting myself, though. It's thought that if my business fails, my employees fail. Yes, love it. Love it, Feral Wildflowers. So true. I would rather go hungry than potential employees going hungry. 100%. 100%. Great point. Yes, Becky, Ben mentioned his mom. Take a drink. I kid, but we really did a treat game this last year. You guys can do what you want in the chat there. That's fine, as long as I don't get demonetized. And you guys know, police up anybody acting crazy, right? So, you've been fasting. Good job, Lady Ann. Oh, yeah. Nothing wrong with the 90s, Ben. That's right. That's amen to that, Joe Saunders, a diamond dog. I showed up one day and failed miserably. I have to go back. Maybe it works next time. It will. It will for sure. All right, let's check our poll. Our poll, 14 votes. Do you own a business or want to start one? Own one, 29%. Start one, 50%. Want to but afraid to, 21%. Okay, this is good. This is good. We're on a very good topic right now then. with Gary Vee. Okay, let's keep on rolling. Remember, guys, content is king. So you have to remember, though, that it doesn't matter how good your product is if nobody is looking at it. He day trades attention. He's a day trader of attention, finding where it's underpriced, okay? Where the attention's underpriced, like TikTok in 2019 or LinkedIn right now, 2024, but right now as well. That's why I'm saying LinkedIn, okay? Again, the purpose of this podcast is to upgrade your life. I'm giving you tactical tools for business, for your career, that will help to make you more money if you use it, okay? It will get you more brand awareness, more opportunities for jobs, okay? And maybe other opportunities as well too, to build a following, all that stuff like that, or to build some like-minded people and friends like we have in our chat. We got an awesome chat, best chat on YouTube, smartest people. A bunch of people have said that before. You know, it was a great chat. Yep, very great. It's because of you guys, okay? But you want to make sure that you're on top of some of these things, okay? And don't go crazy. Don't get stressed out about it. You're here on YouTube in this chat. This is awesome. It's a little community in and of itself. But get on LinkedIn, okay? Instagram is very saturated. It's still good to be on. But I would definitely say, you know, LinkedIn's important for careers, for business as well. Instagram is great for outreach. Facebook is still very good and powerful. TikTok is still really good. Pick one or two and go hard on it, okay? Learn as much as you can. Start posting content. Don't worry about the quality of it. Don't worry. Just put stuff out there. People are going to appreciate it, okay? Remember, document, don't create. This is one of Gary's big rules. Documenting what your life is like at work, at home, little things. Just document it, okay? Post something. Hey, today I was working on this thing. This is how it went. Boy, have you ever experienced that before? You'll get people they'll respond. Be like, yeah, man, I had the same thing. Yeah, whoa, I couldn't believe it. Okay? Document, don't create. A major hurdle for your viewers is perfectionism. Okay? Gary's strategy is just to film the process. That's what he does. The Ferocious Optimist version of this for me is, okay, your journey is the content. Your journey is the content. All right? Gary says document, don't create. I say your journey is the content. That's all the content you need. Show your journey at the gym. Show your journey in business. Guys, I'm showing you my journey right now. I'm on the journey right now, posting it, going live. You guys are live with me right now on the journey, okay? And so it's really important. Let's watch this next video from Gary. I think I got another one here. Let's check it out.
Thing. Put out content, put out a great product, test things, try it all, use data, use your intuition, test and learn, test and learn, test and learn. And this just insane lack of patience and lack of understanding that takes actual skills to actually win is frustrating at times. What does a local business need to do to get customers? You need to have a great product. You need to make people that could potentially buy your product know about it. You can do that through content. You can do that through advertising. You can do that by going to the Chamber of Commerce. You can do that by fucking cold calling every single business in town. Like, fuck, man. There's just so many ways to do it. But one way not to do it is to watch my videos and read Seth Godin's books and ponder and strategize and whiteboard all day and debate with your brother and wonder why. Like, lack of action is one way not to do it.
You just got to do it, guys. You got to do it. I get so pumped up. I'm telling you my own journey, okay? My own journey. Again, I'm going to attribute to Gary Vee. You know, yes, I had a lot of experience. Yes, I did a lot of leadership stuff, all this stuff like that. But I didn't know how to package it. I didn't know how to tell people I'm in business. I didn't know what to do. I'll never forget this. I was shoveling snow 8 years ago. Lisa, you probably remember the big snowstorm here in the East Coast. A bunch of East Coast people do. Another big whopper like this one. I was shoveling snow. I was listening to his book, Crush It, on tape. No kidding, true story. Okay? And if I ever get to meet Gary Vee, I'm going to tell him about it in person. And it dawned on me. I'm like, all right, I'm going to try what he's saying. He's saying to make posts and tell people that this is what I do. Start talking about leadership. Start talking about coaching people. Start talking about people, about mindset. All the things that are important to me as a Marine, okay? As a Marine officer. And just, you know, in my life, what was important to me, what got me ahead was really my mindset, my leadership, certain ways to think about things, planning techniques, tools, and strategies. And I thought, that's what I want to do. I want to help people to improve their lives. I just didn't know how to go about it. And I listened to him. I read his book, and it was like, I'm going to try this. He sounds very convincing. You hear him. He's so enthusiastic. So I tried it. And it was like within, not much time, I got my first client. I was like, okay. And then it kept going and kept going and kept going. And here I am 8 years later, boom, still doing it, right? Still doing it. Still in business, still cooking, still going, posting more than ever, doing content more than ever, live on YouTube, okay? And really just because you guys, when I was in the war room, everybody said, when's Ben going to get a YouTube channel? So here I am. I listened, right? Here I am. We're doing it. I appreciate all of you guys. I really appreciate all of you in the chat. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. If you haven't liked yet, please like. It's going to help the algorithm, help me on my mission. My mission is to be an inspirational leader, to create positive, lasting change in the lives of others, okay? And the purpose of this podcast is to upgrade your life. Share if you think someone's going to get something out of this, okay? Because again, I didn't really promote it that much today. I was just been in a big crunch past few days, past week. So again, like, subscribe, share. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Appreciate all of you guys, all of you watching. So, but Gary's saying, you got to just get after it and do it. Just do it. All right, let's listen to some more. Here we go. I'm going to go back 5 seconds.
And read Seth Godin's books and ponder and strategize and whiteboard all day and debate with your brother and wonder why. Like, lack of action is one way not to do it. One thing I'm doing is I'm constantly in motion. I'm constantly in motion. I'm changing my products. I'm changing my game. I'm changing all the time. I'm redoing my pitch deck for VaynerMedia. I've got different ideas of how to sell it. Fucking learn how to love losing. Learn how to love losing like I do. You know why I'm not scared of testing? Because I don't fear the loss. I don't fear people laughing at me. Fucking laugh at me. Go ahead, laugh at me. I don't give a fuck. Try to laugh at me. Laugh at me with your opinions. Let's talk results. You know, can you laugh at me? People that are beating me. Zucks, you're allowed to laugh. Elon, you're allowed to laugh. Saka, laugh at me. You're loud. If you're not beating me, don't fucking laugh. People are scared. People are scared. People are scared of trying new things. People are students. You're students. You're not a fucking entrepreneur. You're a student. You're a student. All you want to do is read and consume and ponder, make pretend, and talk about how you're gonna. Fuck you're gonna. Go do it.
Dude, love that, man. If you're feeling that, give me a fire symbol in the chat if you're feeling that one, okay? And absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Joe Saunders, they laughed at Jeff Bezos. Yep, they did. Remember? Have you ever seen those old videos of him? Jeff Bezos, the pictures of him sitting in his garage. It says Amazon.com on a dot matrix printer printout, right? They laughed at him. Yeah, that's it, baby. But if that fired you up, give me a fire symbol in the chat. Because I'm telling you, I was feeling it right there. And I love that when Gary Vee is saying, hey, screw you, right? Basically, you don't want to laugh at me? Laugh at me. That's fine. Yeah, hell yeah, Crusader. Thank you, Jasmine. Appreciate it, Joe Saunders. But this is the thing. What you consume and what you pay attention to will either raise your energy and make you more inspired and do more, or it'll put you down. Guys, mindset is everything. The way you choose to see the world is everything. What you fill your mind with is everything. Okay? Because again, I'm going to go into the hard truths. We're going to go into the situation update here in a little while after Gary Vee. But I want to pump you guys up first with good stuff. It's not BS. Okay? We're all making this up, guys. We're making this up as we go along. Life is happening for us, not to us. We are making it up. You're going to think anyway. You may as well think big. And you may as well think I can. And you may as well think screw you if you want to laugh at me. Who cares? Take the L. All right? I can tell you guys some stories. I can tell you some stories where I didn't have everyone always believe in me, people questioning me. I kept going. I had to sell some things off. I had to cut big expenses. Okay? Had to get rid of different assets, things like that, in order to continue the mission, to continue the dream, to stay in the game. And it's paid off. It's all paid off. Okay? But the first thing is you get it really clear and focused about what you want and why you want it. And then have faith, courage, faith, discipline, grit, and study the tools and techniques, and then do it. And do it again. Okay, who cares? Iterate, get better, improve. I'll be there with you. I'll be on the journey with you. I'm here. I'm going to be here in our chat, and you guys can love it, okay? Or you can join me in my Ferocious Optimist community and my coaching membership, okay? My Inner Circle program is opening like tomorrow. I just had the right number of people just joined as of today. So this Inner Circle, my Inner Circle high-touch transformational group coaching program, you have to be a member of my Ferocious Optimist membership first to get access to this, okay? That's opening too. It's taking off. But you'll be surrounded by amazingness. You love this? Get in my coaching membership. Get in the community. If you love this, you're going to really love that, okay? Get in the deep end of the pool. But we're here right now. We got a great little community. We got the best chat on YouTube. But just do it. Take the freaking chance on yourself. What are you waiting for? Don't wait anymore. It's okay to do it badly. It's okay. Just don't over-risk on the first time, right? Don't commit so many resources. It's okay to fire bullets first and cannonballs. It's all right to have recon. Get on a recon, but go on the recon mission. Post your first post, okay? Write your first thing. Make your first phone call. Send the first email. Do it and do it again. Do it again. Do it again. It's okay to be bad at it. It's okay. I'm going to be there with you, okay? Take a shot. Take a shot. Hell yeah, Jasmine. My favorite saying is keep it simple, stupid, and work smarter, not harder. I love it, Farrell. That's great. Farrell Wildflowers, love that. Yeah, Lady Ann. La Diamond Dog, awesome. I love the fire symbols, guys. I usually tell people to put up or shut up. Amen, Crusader. That's it. That's why I have 0 friends. That's all right. We're your friends here. But the thing is, sometimes when you're trying to upgrade your life and you're trying to operate at a high level, I'm going to tell you, just like Coach Nick Saban said, A's love A's. B's like hanging around with B's, and C's like hanging around with C's, because the A's don't get along with the B's, okay? A's meaning A-listers, high performers, okay? High performers don't like people that are mediocre performers. They don't get along usually. So Crusader, if you're a high performer and you have high standards, sometimes it's a little lonely at the top, okay? But you will find like-minded people. That's why people join my community. That's why they join my coaching membership. That's why they come here in this chat, all right? And you're not sitting in some conspiracy theory thing somewhere, okay? Which, those are fun for a little bit here and there. I'm not talking against it, but, something that can really sustain you and nourish you and help you to figure out life and business and get your plans, your operations straight, so you don't just walk away angry, confused, or entertained. Entertained's okay too. But if you really want to upgrade your life, you get in an inspirational space like this, okay? And it's really because of all you guys. I'm providing just a platform here. You guys are the ones bringing the blood and the fire and the energy here, okay? So keep it up, chat. Chat is awesome. Everybody, chat, give yourselves a fire symbol right now. For all you guys, you're doing fantastic. You're the best. Let's keep listening to Gary Vee.
You're a student. All you want to do is read and consume and ponder, make pretend, and talk about how you're gonna. Fuck you're gonna. Go do it. You can only read so much. You have to do. I'm an extreme. Maybe I'm different. I don't learn that way. I don't read anything. That's not right. But is it right to read all of them? Shit. How many fucking books from these experts do you need? Do shit. Learn. Put in the work. Don't fucking have dinner at 7 o'clock and drink 2 beers and have the fucking Spurs Golden State game in the background with your 2 buddies and tell each other how you're gonna do it while you're fucking sitting there how you're gonna do it and dapping. I haven't seen fucking Steph Curry hit a basket this year.
All right, that is awesome. Absolutely awesome. Super fired up for all that, okay? So, and again, it's all in our heads. And the fear is in your head. The anxiety is in your head. The reason why you procrastinate is anxiety and fear, and you're afraid of, that it's going to be more painful to do it than not do it, okay? Just do it. Step forward, do it. Take the chance, take a risk on yourself, start that business, make that first post, even before you start the business. You don't need to go get the LLC and get the friggin' S-Corp and get your tax stuff set. You don't need to, okay? Until you make a certain level of money, he just goes in as income, and you just tell them about it in taxes. That's it, okay? You're not even gonna have to worry about qualified business expenses, anything like that. Don't even worry about it. Get your first customer, your first client, okay? Unless you're building some mega banger startup, okay, that needs like major investment. I know a few of you are actually, one for sure. So you don't need to worry about it. Just do your first thing. Hey, here's this today. How we hang a shingle outside to say we're in business is by a social media post. I'm in business. I do this. I can help you. What can you help me with? I can help you with X, with Y, with the Z, with 1 and 2 and 3. Here are the examples. I've never done 4, but I think I can if you want to give me a chance to do it. And I'll even do it for free because 4, I don't have any examples of doing it before. So I'll do it for free, and then you can be a testimonial for me. Okay. Guys, you got to tell people you're in business. You got to tell people the business you want to start. If you have a career and you want to get another job, or you're looking to advance, promote, and grow, you got to show your work. Otherwise, it never happened. Remember that? No one's looking at it. Day trade attention. Okay? Now, the next thing. Jab, jab, right hook is one of his books. Give value, give value, give value, then ask for the sale. You don't keep asking for sale. It's not jab, hook, jab, 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 right hook. Okay? Or in really real boxers, no, it's jab, 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 right cross usually. Okay? But, and maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think so. In my own boxing experience. So, but yeah, you're going to drop the bomb. His point is you drop the hammer after you give, then ask for the sale. Okay? Most people right hook and they ask before they've earned the attention. Just remember that. I'm not going to lie to you. I've seen people, they start a business and what do? They don't even build their social media. They don't even start earning trust. You know what they do? They go right to paid media, right to a publicist, right to this, right to that. And they instantly start buying up all these like expensive, advertising platforms for themselves. It doesn't mean it's going to translate to a sale. You haven't earned the trust yet. You got to have organic trust. People have to know that you actually know what you're doing. They've seen you enough. And yes, the paid stuff will get you some reach, but it still doesn't earn you a sale unless you have significant credibility in the product or service you're trying to sell. You have to have significant social proof. Okay? So I'm just going to say that for all of you out there as well too. Okay? So, leadership lessons here with Gary Vee. He has the kind candor shift. He used to be all about the grit and the hustle and all that. But the kind candor shift for him, empathy as a business result was one of his main themes. Okay? Gary recently shifted his brand to focus 12 and a half, all right, his book on soft skills, and he argues that empathy and kindness aren't weak. Okay? They are the ultimate retention tool for top talent. I agree with that. Okay? Top talent doesn't want to be bothered. They don't want to be harassed. They don't want to be bullied by some boss, giving the stink eye, having somebody look over their shoulder all the time. Now, accountability goes for everybody, obviously. Okay? But when you're hiring top talent, if you don't have empathy and you're not an empowering leader, you're not an action officer that can help out that top talent, then you're not doing the right things. It's not good. Okay? So my business leaders out there, you have to understand your main leadership skills are you performing as an operator, you making sales, you keeping retaining, recruiting, landing them, and retaining. Recruiting and retaining top talent on your team. Okay? And then letting them do their jobs. But along the way, you have to be able to listen. Empathy. Okay? Empathy and kindness are the ultimate retention tools for top talent. I agree. Now, accountability always you need too. Accountability is the cure for anxiety. This is another thing, another concept. One of his most viral points, Gary Vee, is this. If everything is your fault, you are in total control. Okay? And I want to say this. This is also a big Tony Robbins thing. Okay? And it's also a big Jim Rohn thing. Jim Rohn was Tony Robbins' mentor. Okay? He worked for Jim Rohn for a long time. And it's also a big thing for Napoleon Hill and Andrew Carnegie. And we can go all the way back to the Bible. We can go all the way back to every great book, every great philosophical work. Okay? Probably many different religions. But it's this. You are responsible and you are accountable. You can delegate responsibility, but you are accountable for the results. And when you fully own your results and you say, yeah, the buck stops here. Okay? Put a 1 in the chat if you know the saying, the buck stops here. Give me a 1 in the chat. 1 in the chat if you know this, okay? The buck stops here. Because when the buck stops here, all right, when you have the buck stops here attitude, that means that's it. That's it. We're not passing the buck. We're not going to pass the buck, okay? I'm responsible and accountable for everything that happens or fails to happen in my business. Just like I was as a Marine Corps officer, okay? As a battalion commander, I was told I am responsible for everything that happens or fails to happen in this unit. And there's no crying, okay? Some things I didn't even know about. And things were happening. I'm like, holy crap, I better get on it. It's still mine. I can't cry about it and say, someone else, me. That's it. Okay? And I did my best. I learned a lot. I took my face shots and had some great times too, but I learned a lot. And recently I was talking to a old team member, and we talked about some of the great growth opportunities God had given us. The great, you know how it is, you want to get strong, you pray for strength, and God will give you problems, right? Or whatever you believe in. The universe will come and give you problems. And when you solve those problems, you get stronger, okay? It's a great growth opportunity. Problems are good if you look at it the right way. From a certain point of view, problems are good. So, but this is a very important concept that when you are accountable for everything, you are in total control, because then it's no one else's fault. You're like, I can do this. I can fix this. I'm not abdicating my power. Oh, it's out of my control. If they only had done it, if they had made me do this, what did they make you? They didn't do it. You are responsible for your feelings and your attitude. You, okay? When you blame the economy or the president, for example, you give away your power, okay? When you take accountability, you take control of the wheel. Remember that, okay? Gary Vee also had a garage sale mentality, his personal finance hacks. You know, you want to kill the lifestyle fix that you're trying to, be all fluffed up and look fancy, live beyond your means for the trappings of success, okay? He mocks people who buy a BMW on a $50K salary, okay? He does. He mocks them. He advocates for eating dirt for decades so you can own that car and pay for it easily, right? So you can own the rest of your life. Guys, I'm not telling you how to live. I wouldn't do that. I'm telling you what Gary Vee talks about that I do believe in, I think is right, okay? So that you're not, enslaved. You're not feeling resentful. You're not doing this escapist stuff all the time. You don't start drinking to, numb your pain, all those things like that, okay? Obviously a little bit of that here and there, and not a big deal, but I'm saying really like he's talking about, you check out at 7 p.m. and that's your night, right? Because you're just so unhappy, deeply unhappy, all right? The $20,000 flip story, okay? He goes to garage sales on weekends to prove a point. If you're broke, there's still money sitting on people's lawns. He did that as a point. He doesn't do it all the time, but he said he did that as a point to show you can make money from little things that are right in front of you if you get hungry enough and if you get resourceful enough, okay? You just think you're too good, or you think there's no opportunities. When you say in your mind there are no opportunities, no opportunities, no opportunities, you keep repeating that. You have this thing come over your eyes called a stachoma. The stachoma blinds you. Look it up. ChatGPT fact check me. A stachoma makes you blind to what's in front of you. The greatest example of the stachoma is when they had all the people on the stage in red suits, in brown and red suits, and the researcher told the audience, everyone pick out all the people in the red suits. And they were counting how many people were in the red suits, right? There was a bunch of them. And then he had a person in a gorilla suit. I've told the story a bunch of times. The gorilla suit jumping across the stage, doing spins, jumping around. He said, did anyone see anything weird during this time? No one saw it. Did anyone notice the man in the gorilla suit? And the guy came walking out. They said no. And they replayed a video. There he was. Okay? Because they were looking for something. This is called your reticular activating system. I've talked about this in my videos a lot. You need to train this reticular activating system, your brain, for what it should search for, okay? Search for the opportunities. Train it to look for opportunities. First of all, you got to know what you want. What are you working towards? You got to have time to be creative, time to think, all right? I'm all fired up right now because Gary Vee was a great building block, a cornerstone for me in learning how to market what I could do, and it worked. I'm not lying to you guys, okay? Read his books or listen to this podcast. Here we are. Listen to my channel. And you're going to learn. All right, let's listen a little bit more to old Gary Vee here and what he has to say. I think this might be the end of this video. All right, just some inspiration. We're going to go on to this next one. Let's check this out. And then very soon we are getting into the Epstein files. Okay, I told you guys we're going to uplift, inspire, motivate. We're going to upgrade our lives here. But then we're going to take a look at the operating environment like we always do. That's why we go into the current events. That's why we go into the hard truths. We see what's in the news that we need to be concerned about, that we should be concerned about, okay? So we know what the hell is going on. As a Marine officer, as a commander, okay, we had to plan our missions within the operating context that was given to us, right? I couldn't ignore away the enemy. I couldn't ignore away threats. I couldn't ignore away the weather. So whatever I was planning, I had to be aware of what's going on and plan around it. So that's what we're doing by studying the Epstein files, what's happening there. We're not going to go into conspiracy theories too much, but we're going to look at it. Then we're going to look at the Iran situation after that, okay? And what President Trump's plan is for the Iran situation. And then the third act, as always, is going to be our leadership lessons of South Park. We're going to have a great friggin' time and kick the weekend off with a blast. All right, so hang in there with me. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share if you have not done so yet. And if anybody you think would appreciate this, just text them, tell them, hey, get on this thing. Share the link and get them in here. We got the best chat in YouTube. Let's fire it up. Let's grow this channel. Let's grow this stream. And so everybody can learn and grow together. All right, let's watch this. Here we go.
The information that is being consumed by the 8 billion people outside this room, it is predominantly coming through this. And the thing that is most dominant on this for attention is social networks. And until we swallow that pill that so many of us have not wanted to, and understand that the creative that works in there is the work, and especially now, I don't think it's lost on anybody that's close enough to this, the algorithms flipped 3 years ago. And now we're completely interest-based. Organic reach measures relevance. That's insane. We finally can measure creative. Honestly, we can hold creative accountable. I'm sure it is not lost on anyone how much advancements we're seeing in the AI space. And I'm sure.
Okay, so if you guys caught that, what he is talking about right there, all right, that we can actually measure creative now within our content strategy. So if you look at, okay, we go ahead and we look at when you make a post, the organic reach of your post, of your video, of your reel, whatever it may be, okay? This is the true measure of its effectiveness of, it's not about a vanity metric. It's, how many people are interested, how much does it hit home for the goals that you have, okay, with the messaging you're trying to give. And so we really have a metric now where you can judge, did it work, did it not work? For a long time, advertising agencies just, they would get these test groups together, right? They would get these beta test groups together and they would test out it to 50 people, 100 people. Do they like it? Do they not like it? Do they laugh? And then they'd run massive ad campaigns to the whole country, sending it out to 20 million people, spending a ton of money, not knowing if it would hit or not hit really. Now today, you have a huge advantage. You can post. When you have a post, when you get your best post, okay, again, whether you're an entrepreneur, an employee, whatever, you hit better this time with what people are interested in, okay? And so as you keep on that path of posting and creating content about what it is that you are selling or what you are interested in, okay? Let's just say that. So if you have a product or service, you have skills and abilities that are very interesting to you, and you want to find other people that are interested in those, you post until you get a few posts or reels that do better than the others. They don't have to be viral. Everyone talks about virality. It doesn't matter. I'm going to tell you something right now. I've seen posts with 10,000 make a sale. I've seen posts with 100 views make a sale, okay? What matters is that you get the right messaging to the right person if you have a business, okay? What matters is that your post of you as an employee has the right messaging to the right employer. And they're like, I could use that person in my business. It doesn't matter the vanity metrics. It doesn't matter, okay? Reach is great, but does it really matter? No, what matters is that you produce content. That's what matters, okay, guys? I just want to say that right there. Put a 1 in the chat if you guys are tracking on this, if this makes sense, all right? Yeah, that's right. That's right, Crusader. Lots of potential with the smartphone. They're very, very good. All right, let's keep on rolling. Put a 1 in the chat if you're tracking on this, if this makes sense. I'll do my best to explain. If not, okay. So some of the key talking points here, all right? The 51-49 rule. In every relationship, business or personal, try to provide 51% of the value. You want to be giving more than you're getting, okay? If you're always the one giving more, you have all the leverage, especially in business, especially at work, in your career, okay? So remember this, guys, the 51-49 rule, okay? And I'm going to put this in a little poll because I want to see. I'm going to see, first of all, our last poll, do you own a business or do you want to start one? 33% own, start one. 52% want to but afraid. 14% less. Okay, that's good. You want to start a business, though. I have a majority want to. That's good. All right, excellent. Now, And let's I'm asking another poll here. Here's a poll for everybody. And my poll question is, I might have drawn a blank for a minute, but my poll question to everyone on this, are you giving more than you get? Be honest. At work. Okay. As a business and employee. Yes or no? Okay. This is important. This is a self-reflection question. I want you guys to go ahead and just answer this. And this is self-reflective, right? It's anonymous, these polls. So are you giving more than you get? Be honest, as a business and employee. Now, you have all the leverage if you are. Remember that. If you're not, and you know that you're holding back, okay, and you're only giving as much as you get, you're 50-50. You're not 51-49 like GaryVee talks about. If you're not 51-49, you're preventing yourself from having the leverage in the situation. It's very important, okay? All right, so answer that poll. Super Slam, what's going on? Good to have you here. Awesome. Thank you for answering, guys. Crusader, Mark, Diamond Dog, Lisa, appreciate you. Let's do this. Let's rock and roll, okay? So that's a big thing. And the next thing is this, the sunset perspective. Gary often talks about the regret of 90-year-olds. This is super important, okay? So you want to remember, as you look back in life, when you're 90 someday and you look back on life, what are you going to regret more? Are you going to regret the things you failed at or the chances you never took? Put that in the chat for me. When you're 90, let's pray we all live that long. If you're so lucky to live to 90, what do you think you'll regret more? The failures you had or the chances you never took? Tell me, guys. Tell me in there. What will you regret more? The failures you had or the chances you never took? Or the failure to act. The failures you had and the fear that you let make you not take a chance, right? So you never tried. The failures and not trying, right? The failure or not taking a chance. Chances never taken. Diamond Dog, both. I already regret not making. Okay. I give more than I get in everything. Okay, you have a lot of leverage then, Becky. Yeah, Lisa Jones, chances never taken. That's a great attitude. Well, Crusader, you have a lot of love to give. You can give that in many ways, right? And there's a chosen family. There are different families. There's your chosen family, the people you choose to be with and associate with. And there's, family that you have to have, right? That you're born into. In the early days of my career, not spending more time with my family. Yep, I hear you, Mark. I hear you. Well, you want to think about, too, so someday when you look back, when you're 90, if you're so lucky to live to 90, the thing is, a lot of the times in that sunset mindset, right, when the sun is setting, right, and you're in that season of life, you don't want to regret not having taken a chance, okay? Now, if you have a catastrophic failure that sets you back, make no mistake, there can definitely be a little bit of regret there, right? But I'm going to tell you, it's probably not going to be as bad as you think if you take a chance. As long as you do it smartly. You fire bullets first, then cannonballs, okay? Trust me, if you get me as your coach, your business coach, I'll make sure that you do it the right way, okay? So, it's never too late, Crusader. But that's a lot of the things that people hear, okay? Is that, the regret of 90-year-olds. Gary Vee talks about this a lot, okay? The regret of not taking the chance, the regret of not trying that thing. It's okay to find out you're not good at it. It's okay to try and fail, And it's okay to be selective and not try things too, as long as you decide, yeah, I don't think I want to try that. That's fine. But if you have a burning desire to try something, it's still not too late. It's still not too late. As long as you have breath in your lungs, it is not too late to get closer to it. Maybe the original vision might change a little bit, but you could learn more about it. You can get involved in it. You could, have a network in it. You can immerse yourself in it still, okay? Micro speed, macro patience. Okay, you should be working out of a 10 out of 10 speed today. This is very important. Micro speed, macro patience. You should work max effort, max speed today. But you should be willing to wait 10 years for the big results. Okay? 5 years at least. You need to be able to work and have your mindset like going to college. I'm going to spend 4 to 5 years, okay? Some people 6, 7 years, 4 or 5 years to get the results I want. Okay, imagine what you can get done in 10 years if you stay on the grind. Imagine you keep yourself healthy, you stay focused, you put in work every day, you can accomplish huge things. So many people, they don't realize what they can accomplish in 10 years. They overestimate what they can accomplish in 1 year. They underestimate drastically what they can accomplish in 10 years, in 5 years, okay? Play the long game. Play the long game. Very, very important. Absolutely important, okay? And so, I'm going to ask you guys a question here too. Gary says kindness is the ultimate business strategy. Do you think he's being too kind? Okay? Let me say this. Do you think being too kind makes a weak leader, or is it a superpower? Okay? Drop a super or weak in the chat right now what you think. If you think being too kind makes a leader weak, or do you think it's a superpower? Drop either a super or weak in the chat. Tell me what you think, okay? Tell me what you think, everybody. Let's see what we got there. Keep taking those chances, Becky. Keep marketing. Keep posting. Tell people about what you're doing. I know what you mean. It feels like you're speaking to an empty room. This live stream is for you, Becky. This is great. Because that comment right there, it's not that I don't take chances. It's that no one will take a chance on me. That's because not enough people know about you yet. If you post more, you do more on social media, show your work, show your writing, show little tidbits of it. Maybe start a YouTube channel or start a podcast where you read from some of your writing. Your opportunities will open up for sure. Yep, not at all. Both. Okay. Both. Super. Depends on the situation. Yeah, Crusader, I hear you there. I hear you. It can depend on the situation, for sure. For sure. GaryVee seems like a pretty strong leader, pretty go-getter guy, pretty aggressive, high energy, high accountability. So you're right. It could make you weak. If you don't, it's a great discussion point. If you don't also practice accountability and you don't also practice discipline and very, very accurate and effective tasking and oversight. Yep. Kindness with discernment, right? Yep. I think Ronald Reagan, what did he say? Trust but verify. Trust but verify. Awesome. All right, guys. You know what time it is. It is time for a word from our sponsor from the great Ben Pappas Coaching and Community. And as we do this, I want to tell you guys, okay? So if you get motivated and pumped up like that segment of GaryVee, okay, and you're thinking about advancing your career, advancing your business in some way, shape, or form, you want to get around a supportive group of people, I'm telling you, my Ferocious Optimist coaching membership and community is for you. This chat, you guys are all ideal for it, okay? Fantastic people, all trying to get ahead, supportive, an accountability circle, people who are going to help hold you accountable in a positive way. We had a great session this past Saturday, and I was working with one of my one-on-one clients today who was there in the session on Saturday and just said, I want more of that. I want to be around these people that are in these sessions. It affects your mindset. Imagine you're on a private Zoom call, okay, and this Ferocious Optimist coaching membership and community, and I'm going to play this video here for you guys again in a minute, all right? And it's it's a chance again to see what it's all about. But imagine you have this every week, which is what my new inner circle is offering. My high touch elite inner circle membership. Okay. But you got to be a member of the Ferocious Optimist community and coaching membership first, because it's an inside thing, right? Everyone gets to know each other on the Zoom calls and the community. And so the inner circle, we're meeting on a small group monthly basis, right? And right now, if you join, it's really going to be a great opportunity. Truly a small group. It's the inner circle is going to be 6 of us right now. Okay. As of today, with me included. So 5 founding members and myself, but the doors are open. So if a couple of you join right now, if you join the membership and you join the inner circle, you're in. You can be in there. We can have 10 people. It'd be great. So please join the Ferocious Optimist coaching membership. If this resonates with you, I think it does. It's $87.99 per month. I'm going to play the video here in a second. The upgrade to the inner circle is $197. Okay. It is a members only upgrade. So for $285 a month, you're getting 4 high touch elite group coaching sessions with me on a private Zoom call and some super fantastic people that are business owners, career professionals. Some are artists. I've got all kinds of people in there that are amazing. Okay. And you'll get a ton out of it. Just being upfront with you what it is. But I'm telling you, I challenge you to find that anywhere else at that price. I had another coach hear that and just said, this is a steal, man, for what you're offering. Okay. My one-on-one coaching is a big investment. Okay. It's much, much more, but it's accessible because why people just like this YouTube channel had asked me, Ben, will you do something other than one-on-one coaching? So I did it. It's available to you now. I'm going to play the video because to get to the inner circle, you first have to join the Ferocious Optimist coaching membership and community. And imagine that you are achieving your goals. You're getting ahead. You're losing the weight. You're making more money. You have a family-like environment of accountability and friendship, okay? And like Crusader, you were saying, sometimes you feel like you have no friends. Maybe I'm that way. I built my own friendship, my own community. I'm friends and all you guys in here in this YouTube channel, right? Sometimes you got to build a platform to attract like-minded people, and that's what I've done. I think you'll get a ton out of it. If you like this chat, you're going to love the people in there. It's absolutely awesome, okay? I'm going to play the video now, but to get to the inner circle, you got to join the Ferocious Optimist coaching membership and community. It's a members-only thing, the inner circle, okay? And if you don't want to upgrade to the inner circle, that's fine too. Try out the Ferocious Optimist coaching membership and community, $87.99 per month. You get the community, you get all the challenges. I'm going to play the video. I know I'm talking too much. You're going to see it all, and you'll get a ton out of it once a month. My success path, all the stuff like that is in there. Here we go. I'm playing it. Let's do this. All right. And if you got to get a drink right now. We'll come back. This serves a little bit as our intermission as well, too. But you better watch, damn it, because I want to see all of you someday in the Ferocious Optimist coaching membership and community. It's friggin' awesome. We're going to have a great time. And imagine we can all see each other. It's super cool. I do Q&A for like an hour and 15 minutes. And we really talk, and it's fun, laughing. And it's like a mastermind. You all contribute to the other people. They contribute to you. Okay? Of course, I'm going to be coaching you as well. But then if you're open to hearing from other people, super cool, man. And it does. I mean, it's like an extended family. It's amazing. Turns into friendships too. All right, here we go. Check this out. Let's do it. So again, this is in my YouTube bio. Go to more details, links, whatever. Go to the YouTube bio. Click on the bio to learn more. It'll say showing the links, or it'll say see more. This will pop up, community and coaching membership. I think it's the second one down. You click on it. Here I am. Unleash your warrior, become unstoppable. And you will. Trust me, we're all creating this as we go. It's all in our minds. Okay? If you surround yourself with the right people and the right information in your mind and the right mindset, you can accomplish anything. Imagine being freaking unstoppable, being clear about what you want, clear and focused at where you're going in life. Imagine that. Imagine not feeling stuck and not afraid. You're ready to break through walls. You hesitate. You're like, I'm not sure. Let me get in the community. Type in the community. Guys, I'm about to do this. What do you guys think? Everyone's going to come in there and tell you, do it. Or they're going to tell you their own experiences. Has anyone done this before? Yes. Okay. I've got people also international, overseas as well, that are in the community. It's amazing. All right, here we go. I'm going to be quiet and we're going to play it. Let's do it. All right, everybody, welcome. So glad you decided to click and learn more about my coaching membership and community. I think you're going to get a ton out of it, okay? This is the place we're going to help you to make a breakthrough from where you are now to where you want to be, to go ahead and get ahead. And my Ferocious Optimist community is going to be there along the way to support you, help you grow, help you stay on track, help you keep your mindset strong, help you to get back off the ground if you get knocked down at any time, okay? And it's a great supportive community that's going to be there for you, whether you have questions or you need support. You get the challenges, weekly and monthly challenges after the coaching session. Then there's a coaching session, the live coaching session each and every month. That's going to go for about an hour, then plus Q&A. I stay for as long as you want to stay there for Q&A, usually about 30 or 45 minutes afterwards. And I post all of that in the members area and in the community. So let's go ahead and check this out right now. Let's jump into the members area and take a look what it looks like inside. So you get the actual experience of what it's like to be a member inside my coaching membership and community. Here we go. All right, you can see this was session 1 right here, the live coaching call with me. And some of the notes I have here to please download the membership success path PDF and review it. Click resources button to access. So let's do that right now. Okay, and this is my membership success path. Okay, this is how I describe to you exactly how I want you to succeed and the change and transformation that I want to see you make. Okay, the different stages you have to go through in order to have achieved the objectives that I want you to achieve within the membership. So you'll know when you've achieved everything you need to achieve within the membership, all the way through stage 1, 2, 3, and 4, until you're absolutely in orbit and you're mastering life. Okay. And so it's not just like an infinite membership. You can stay as long as you want. Hopefully you stay for your lifetime, but there definitely are objectives that I want you to meet. Okay. And I clearly define those, and I walk you through in session 1, which you can replay anytime you want. I walk you through in session 1 just exactly how we create that transformation, and through the success path and what all of those goals and objectives are along the way. So let's go ahead and take a look at this right now. Okay, you can see here, this is the coaching membership. As I'm doing a coaching session, using a presentation to coach from as well too. Okay, and then the Q&A, of course, afterwards. All right, and we'll jump into the next month. All right. Session 2, here are some of the notes. Topics covered: daily morning routine for focus and energy, daily planning and execution. Okay, let's jump inside the coaching call itself. This is the Q&A towards the end. And you can see here we are talking about different focus areas, going through the actual presentation. You can see I'm coaching in the little window up here. Okay? So this is what it's like inside the actual membership when you do the live coaching call with me, all right? And then the great thing is that you have unlimited replay. You can replay this as many times as you want. Go in here, the membership. Let's say you didn't understand something. You go ahead and click in here, go ahead and check it out, and then go inside the resources button, and you can actually download the PDF, the presentation, the PowerPoint presentation I used. Here's session 2. That I use to coach from, okay? I try to use some humor in there as well too. It's a great time. We have a fun time. All right, I don't think any other coach does this where they give you the actual presentation that they're using in order to create the transformation in the coaching call. They don't give you the presentation that they're using to coach from, to teach from, but I do that for you because I want you to be able to go back. I want you to go back and be able to replay this and learn as much as possible, okay? So that's one of the great things about this membership is that you have unlimited replay in the video, unlimited replay in the presentation, as much as you want. Download it, look at it. You're going to get downloadable content such as the Success Path PDF that's in there. Also a discipline and habit tracker, among other downloadable content that I post from different sessions, okay? So in a nutshell, that is it within the membership itself. And I'm so glad that you came here and that you took a look inside. I know this is going to be a great membership for you. Inside the community itself, let's go ahead and take a look there now as well. All right. So we go ahead and click over into the community, take a look, and you're getting to see a little behind the scenes peek from my coach's site. Okay. And this is the actual community itself. And you can see here, I've got some motivating things, and there's a challenge posted as well to do the 80-20 rule. Some of the different posts from different people within the community, okay? You can see it's a pretty lively community, people posting a lot of different things. We have different challenges that are posted as well too. Join the weekly and monthly challenges that are going to help you get ahead. One of them is we have a goals progress report, checking on your goals, doing breath work, 1 week of no fear, all these different things, weeks of rest, okay? And so there's also a leaderboard too that you can post that you can get points for, okay? You can see right now I happen to be at the top of the leaderboard, which is good since I'm the leader and the founder, but sometimes people get ahead of me, which is awesome. So there's a friendly little competition along the way, who can have the most interaction, who's accomplishing the most in the challenges, who's supporting everyone the most, okay? Up here, you've got some of the announcements. I will announce the live coaching session 1 week ahead of time, a day ahead of time, and then usually the morning of, and then 1 hour before, and actually when we start. So plenty of reminders to make sure that you don't miss a single coaching session as well, and to make sure that you stay on track. The coaching community is fantastic, okay? I think you're going to get a ton out of that, and I know this is going to be a great experience for you. This is your chance to work inside a community that's going to hold you accountable, help you to achieve your goals, help you to achieve more. When you feel like you're having some friction, you're going to have a community there that you can reach out to and ask people, hey, have you ever seen this before? Hey, have you ever done this before? People will respond back. They're going to jump right in there and answer you, okay? And Q&A within the actual community itself is a daily thing, daily chat. You can reach out to me and I can work with you, have a daily chat as well, all right? So that's one of the great things about this community that is fantastic. And again, right now, if you're joining now, you're going to get a lot of great opportunities that, I've already talked about. So please jump on this opportunity right now before we get so filled up and the prices change and some of the bonuses go away. So, all right, I'm so glad you came here and you checked it out. I know you won't be disappointed. Go ahead and enter info, join, and I can't wait to see you inside. All right, make yourself better, make the world better. Have an amazing day, and just remember, go get yours. Let's go. It's your time. Join, and I can't wait to see you inside. All right, make yourself better, make the world better. Have an amazing day, and just remember, go get yours. Let's go. It's your time. All right, I'm not sure what the heck happened there for a minute with no signal, but I am here. Not sure what happened, but I am here. Don't worry. It'll catch up in a minute, and you will see me. All right, we're back. Let's rock and roll. Great to have you guys here. If you are new, just joining us, we just finished our inspirational segment that we do, which is Act 1 each week. We covered Gary Vaynerchuk, his success strategies, his journey, his mindset, his inspirational leadership story and leadership profile, because the purpose of this channel is to upgrade your life and to make things better for you. Now we're going into the situational update, the operating context. Anytime I've planned a mission as a Marine commander, I had to work on what the operational situation was, right? The operating context, the operating environment. What is the context we're operating in? What is the situation in life for right now for all of us? And that's what we're going to cover right now. One of the big issues that we are all having to deal with, we're all having to pay attention to, is, yes, we've talked about this before many times, but the Epstein files, okay? So again, hold on tight, hold on to your seats here. If you're new here, please make sure if you haven't hit the like button yet, hit the like button, like, subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe, please, okay? I'm not going to steal your soul, I promise. Nothing like that. And make sure you share if you think anybody's going to get something out of this specific particular part of the stream. Make sure you share as well too. All right, let's get right into this. We all know there's been a lot of crazy stuff happening with the Epstein files, okay? There's Anderson Cooper there. Got a lot of stuff here. And the latest thing the DOJ has released is like a 3 million file dump. Okay, that's just come out. From what I'd seen this week, it's some of the most disgusting depictions, descriptions, testimonies, evidence of elite individuals doing crazy things to underage girls, okay? And so it's just some crazy, unbelievable stuff. I mean, is it believable? Yeah, it's believable. And I'm not going to go through every disgusting detail here. I think a lot of other channels are doing that, but we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about, so what? What does this mean? What does this mean more broadly for all of us? Okay, what's the takeaway? Hopefully people are doing their jobs. But we have a lot to discuss right now, okay? And I'm going to start this one off with a poll. And we're going to cover our last poll, of course. Are you giving more than you get? Be honest as a business and employee. 9 votes, yes, 78%. Awesome. Okay, here we go. I know. Imagine what is not being in the evidence, okay? So we are starting off with the Epstein files discussion right now. I'm going to hit up this poll. Okay. Will this have a major impact on U.S. political and elite influencer, I'll say elite leadership landscape? Will Epstein I'm not going to say have, I'm going to say result in. That's different. Will Epstein case result in a major impact on U.S. political and elite leadership landscape? Why I ask it that way, okay? I'm asking it that way because result in is different than have. Will this result in a major impact in the elite leadership landscape in the United States? Political and elite leadership landscape, like business leaders, financial leaders, political leaders, entertainment leaders, all these things like that. Will it result in that? Not will it have, because I feel like will it have an impact is different. It's already having an impact, right? But will it result in something? And I want to see what you guys think. Okay, so please vote in that. Tell me what you think. All right. Jasmine, you said play again. Which one do you want me to play again? Tell me. Okay, and we are going to pay attention to this, but again, answer the poll. Okay, guys? We're going to play this this video here in a second, but I want you to understand that we need to understand what's going on in the operating context. The possibility for this to shake up the U.S. elite landscape is there, okay? People are sick of this, all right? Both sides of the fence, both sides of the aisle are sick of this. And the transparency is leading to more and more discoveries, depravity, crazy stuff coming out, okay? Which, honestly, we've heard rumors for years. Rumors, you hear different things. But now for it all to really be hitting, it's unbelievable. All right, let's listen to Anderson Cooper here. Let's hear what he has to say. And then we'll react to it together. I have not watched this. Just so you guys know, I usually try to pick things where I can react with you that I have not watched. I set up a general, scope of what I'm trying to react to and talk about. And I want to react to it in real time with you. So here we go.
Also showed that Epstein repeatedly took the fifth during a 2016 deposition when asked more than a dozen questions about former President Clinton. Among them, several about whether Mr. Clinton visited Epstein's private island and flew in his private plane. The former president has denied ever having visited the island. So has Elon Musk, yet the files contain at least 2 emails discussing just that. In one from the 24th of November 2012, Epstein writes, "How many people will you be for the heli to island?" Musk responded the next day that it would probably just be him and his then wife, adding, quote, "What day/night will be the wildest party on our island?" A year later, Musk wrote Epstein saying, quote, "We'll be in the BVI St. Bart's area over the holidays," BVI's British Virgin Islands. "Is there a good time to visit?" To which Epstein replied, "Always space for you." It's unclear if that or the other visit took place. Representatives for Musk did not immediately respond to a request for comment about the new emails. And Musk in 2019 told Vanity Fair, quote, "He tried repeatedly to get me to visit his island. I declined." Now, Musk, you'll recall, famously posted this during his beef with the president this year, quote, "Time to drop the really big bomb. Trump is in the Epstein files." Minutes later, he followed up with, quote, "Mark this post for the future. The truth will come out." Now, keeping him honest, that's kind of hard to do. He seems to have taken the post down along with the first one. Also in the files, Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick, who famously said he'd broken ties with Epstein in 2005, vowing to, quote, never be in the room with that disgusting person ever again. The files, though, reveal Lutnick or his wife, Allison, were in touch with Epstein as recently as 2012. In an email from Allison Lutnick in November of that year, she writes, quote, we are looking forward to visiting you, adding, we are traveling on a yacht called Excellence, and I am CCing the captain. A spokesperson for the Commerce Department did not immediately.
All right. Already some stuff there. You know, I mean, the fact that, and we're going to watch some more of this too, but the fact that Elon Musk sounds like he didn't go, but he was going to go. First of all, it's remarkable how extraordinarily deep and far-reaching Epstein's network went for who he was trying to get on the island, to the island, all these things like that. This is remarkable. It's almost on the level of a government-sponsored, if I didn't know any better, and I don't know any better, I'm just speculating, and I know some people have alleged that he's involved in an Israeli intelligence network, part of the Mossad maybe. I've heard that, okay? I don't know if I believe that. But you have to remember, there's some purveyors of private intelligence. They're private intelligence companies, private intelligence individuals who just build networks through blackmail. Really some nasty stuff, right? I've heard he would say, go get a massage, and then record the massage. They would, try to get them in a compromising situation. This is similar to what the KGB would do, okay? The KGB would do this. The Mossad would do it. Many intelligence agencies do things like this, trying to get people, government officials, leaders in compromising positions so they can use it for blackmail, okay? So Epstein's not doing anything that he didn't invent this. This is a nasty, ancient game that's been going on for a long time using temptation, whether it's money and greed, it's lust and sex, it's power, all these revenge, all these different levers that people, intelligence agencies or people, mafia, nasty people, let's say that, would use in order to get leverage over somebody. Okay, so this is nothing really new here. Let's see here. Okay, let me see what's going on in the chat. Let's go see what's going on in the chat real quick. Elon is desperate, period. Desperate to go. Okay, Nate, I see. The Diamond Dog, I haven't heard that before. I don't know. I haven't heard that. I'm not even going to repeat it here so we don't get shut down. God only knows when I start getting after the Chinese, we've had some times we're shut down, right? But I have to check it out. Okay, let's full on tinfoil. All right, let's listen a little bit more. But, and please answer the poll too. If you guys haven't answered the poll yet, get in the poll and answer that because I want to see what you guys think. Will this result in a major impact on U.S. political and elite leadership landscape? 80% yes, 20% no. Now, I think that, as I've said before in one of my live streams, this could possibly be, and I hate to say it, but this could result in a major impact. And I don't want to be the sensationalist. I try to be as accurate as I can. Could this erode so much trust in the elite leadership landscape in the United States and places like Britain as well too, depending on how far this goes? Could this erode so much trust that it changes our system? Could it do that? Put a 1 in the chat if you think this will erode so much this will erode so much trust that there's a possibility it could change the U.S. system, political system. Put a 1 in the chat. And I could be exaggerating, but I just want to see, right? There's a possibility. I don't know if it's probable, but possible. Put a 1 in the chat if you think so much trust could be eroded from this that it could change the U.S. political landscape. I just want to see what you guys think, what you're tracking on here. Okay. have no idea what a rainbow is. Oh boy. What's Red Sparrow? Red Sparrow's a book, right? Ah, Red Sparrow. Got it. Yeah. Yep. Lisa, Lady Ann, Crusader. Okay. Yeah. I sometimes I have these ideas and I want to make sure I'm not, thinking like it's crazy, but that's why we ask each other, right? Okay. Let's watch a little bit more of this and then we'll talk.
Here she writes, quote,
I'm going to go back a little bit more.
Nick, who famously said he'd broken ties with Epstein in 2005, vowing to, quote, never be in the room with that disgusting person ever again. The files, though, reveal Letnick or his wife, Allison, were in touch with Epstein as recently as 2012. In an email from Allison Letnick in November of that year, she writes, quote, we are looking forward to visiting you, adding, we are traveling on a yacht called Excellence, and I am CCing the captain. A spokesperson for the Commerce Department did not immediately respond to a request for comment. So a lot to talk about tonight. Starting us off, CNN Chief Legal Affairs correspondent Paula Reed. She's been going through the documents all day. So what stands out to you from the documents you've reviewed so far?
So the document that really stands out at this point is this list of accusations against President Trump, because the FBI compiled this list last summer. And this is a lot of the kind of information that investigators gather when they're looking at whether charges should potentially be pursued. For example, they're looking at unverified tips. Some include secondhand information that came through a tip line. It appears the FBI followed up on some tips. At least one was found to be unverified.
All right. I will say, for sure, beyond a shadow of a doubt, some of the files that are posted on the DOJ website, are absolutely disgusting what it says about our president. Honestly, I'm embarrassed to say it, okay? You can't really take the Marine out of me. I'm sorry, Marine officer, Marine. I mean, we're different. Marine Corps is a bit different, right? We're also one of the only groups that the president can personally order to go and do things too. You know what I mean? So I think, and maybe some of that has changed, but I mean, I know they can send away the Marines for 60 days to war without an act from Congress, so I mean, can do operations, things like that. And again, some legal people can come back and be like, no, it's not true anymore, but that's how I was raised as a Marine, what I was told, okay? So this is my best recollection. But so speaking badly about the president, it's something that's not natural, right? So even as I say that, I'm like embarrassed. I'm embarrassed this is my president, to hear this. Right? To say, not that I'm embarrassed of him. Let me be clear. I'm embarrassed to say that to you guys, that this is on the DOJ website. Okay? Is there a chance it's not real? Sure. But I don't think so. I don't know. Truth will come out. The truth will come out. Okay? And we're talking about the Epstein files today. I'm not here to trash any one person. We're going to talk about what this impact will have on the U.S. political system, U.S. elite landscape. I think that's important because this is the broader operating context for all of us. What will this mean? How will this disrupt the economy? How will this disrupt trust? How will this impact you? How will it impact me? Okay, that's what I'm concerned about. That's why I'm talking about this. And I think it's just important because, trust is how our system works. Trust and belief in the rule of law, that people are following the laws. Is it justice or is it just us that has to answer to the justice, right? That's the big question. Hypocrisy creates real problems in the system, okay? And so that's why I'm talking about it. This whole thing is terribly embarrassing, obviously, on so many levels. But it's out there now. And we're going to see. Meanwhile, might be war in Iran. Meanwhile, we went and captured Maduro. Meanwhile, we're going to take Greenland, right? We're not actually, I think we're going to do a deal for it now. It sounds like we're not going to invade, which is good. But I'm saying lots of other stuff. Meanwhile, we're brokering a peace treaty with Russia and Ukraine. Meanwhile, China is getting froggy, okay? So there's a lot of stuff to be concerned about. And what I will submit to you is this, okay? I submit this. This question. The question I submit to all of you is everything going on right now a major distraction to distract from the Epstein files? Okay? Think of the timing. The timing. Epstein files drop. Oh, we get Maduro. No one talks about Epstein files for a month after Maduro raid. Almost a month. Remember I was asking, what about the Epstein files? Have we forgotten? And all of a sudden, DOJ is late. A month late. Over a month late with releasing all the files. Boom. The last one that's released, and I did see about the first minute or two of Nate's video on this, okay? Nate does a fantastic job of storytelling, pulls no punches. And honestly, I was like, I couldn't watch anymore. I was just like, I was so disgusted. I was pacing around my house, getting pissed off, getting angry. And so, and I've had a mega busy couple weeks here, okay, with business. And so I'm running and gunning just to get on the live stream, all right, which is a good thing. That's a good problem to have. But what I want to say is that the question that comes to my mind, I'm just telling you guys this, okay? The question you have to ask as a critical thinker, not as a conspiracy theorist, but one of the tools used throughout history, it's very Machiavellian. Machiavelli wrote The Prince, right? In Italy, in Florence, Italy. Okay, he was a political advisor and a writer in Renaissance Italy, and actually was at the time of the de Medici family, I believe. Okay, Cosimo de Medici, I think. And correct me if I'm wrong. We have a lot of smart people in our chat, but you guys can correct me. It's off the top of my head. I lived in Italy for 3 years, so I know a little bit about it. But I'm not like always studying it to talk about it. I'm just for conversation. But and Sun Tzu talked about this as well too. The art of deception. Create distractions so that the real problem, the one that keeps you in power, your vulnerability that keeps you in power, is not exposed. Create bigger problems to distract people. Okay? I mean, this is real stuff. One of the things in Chinese strategy, they're so concerned through history. The emperors have always been so concerned. Xi does the same thing. They do the same thing now. They're so concerned about losing domestic control that they'd rather start a war. They would rather start a war with the United States or with an external foe than have to go to war to put down civil unrest. Because external wars unite the people. And it buys time for the government, for people inside, to hide things and tidy things up. I'm talking about China right now. I'm talking about China, but these are human beings. And these tricks work everywhere, okay? So that's why I'm a critical thinker. Now, am I saying that that's what's going on here? Possibly. I'm just speaking the truth, speaking what I know. I'm not perfect. I don't know everything. We're just having a discussion about this, okay? And so I think as a critical thinker, as a strategist, as a business strategist, life strategist, military strategist, okay? National security strategist, which I officially am as well too, okay? This is a possibility, and we should discuss it as people. That's a possibility. Have I lost all faith and trust? No, I have not. Okay? I believe that this is a good step to have these things being released. It's a good step. What's coming out is not good. It's terrible. It's disgusting. It's horrible. Okay? Is it possible that some things are wrong? It's possible, not probable. That's why we're talking about it, okay? Again, guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, please. And please share if you think someone will get something out of this stream right now. We're going to go deep tonight in this. Please share it with them. Get them there. Give me a 1 in the chat if you guys are with me, if you're tracking. Okay, give me a 1 in the chat if you get something out of this and you are tracking. Hey, Liliana, how you doing? Good to have you here. The Flying Arrow, what's up? Good to have you. Yep, Machiavelli, Florence. Okay, great. Yeah, Assassin's Creed, very cool, man. That's such a cool. I love seeing those old worlds. There's an old ninja game like that too. That would be like in feudal Japan. It was so cool. The Diamond Dog. Yep. All right, awesome, guys. Give me a 1 in the chat. Thank you, Crusader. If you're tracking on this, if this is making sense, and you're getting something out of this, if you have any questions, put them in the chat, and I will tee it up and we'll discuss it. All right, let's keep listening before I pontificate some more. Throwing a lot of the big words out there tonight. Before I talk some more. Before I give my opinion some more. That's what that means. But pontificate sounds fun. There we go. Let's do it.
Some include secondhand information that came through a tip line. It appears the FBI followed up on some tips. At least one was found to be unverified. But this is the kind of information they collect but do not usually make public if there are no charges brought in a case. Now, of course, President Trump has always denied any wrongdoing connected to Epstein, but there are a lot of questions that are raised here. First of all, why did the FBI make this list of accusations specifically relevant to President Trump, though President Bill Clinton was also mentioned in there? The document was also taken down at least twice today. Last time I checked, Anderson, it was back up. But this list of allegations will likely prompt more questions for the Justice Department and the White House, even though this release is, of course, part of an effort to try to tamp all this down.
Trump in the Epstein files. The Justice Department releasing millions of new pages of documents from the Epstein files, and among them is a list that Trump's own Justice Department compiled, his own Justice Department. This list details a list of sexual assault allegations related to the president. Now, this list was released this morning as part of this document dump.
Now, this is where it's going to get pretty nasty, okay? This is what I was talking about. I don't think they're going to talk about as in-depth as some of the YouTubers are talking about. They're not going to read what was said, but it's very graphic. That's what she's talking about right now, okay? And what was very shocking for me, and the fact that the executive branch, President Trump's own DOJ, released these files. They're redacted, but even in the redaction, they're very damning, okay? Now, I know the old saying, right? Let he who is without sin cast the first stone, right? Means that nobody's perfect, okay? Not that we're talking about a whole nother ball game right here, okay? So, and the effectiveness of a leader comes into question, and the suitability of a leader, the credibility of a leader comes into question. I remember as I was a Marine commander always being told, you have to be above reproach to maintain the moral high ground as a leader. I was told this all the time. I remember First Sergeant Mashburn, Sergeant Major Mashburn later on of RCT 7, Regimental Combat Team 7. Great Sergeant Major. He was my Sergeant Major when I was in the infantry at 1-7, and he was my Sergeant Major later at RCT 7 when I was actually in First Force Recon, and we were co-located with RCT 7. So I'd see him. He was this Regimental Sergeant Major. They've been through a lot of stuff. Great dude. Guy could run like a 16-minute 3-mile. It was nuts. What's up, Sergeant Major, if you're listening? Great inspirational guy. But I remember him saying, he would remind lieutenants, the young guys, right? You must be above reproach. You know, and officers would say it too, but I had a lot of great leadership from my senior staff non-commissioned officers because they are the connection between the officer world and the junior enlisted, right? And we were young. I was a young guy too. I was like 24, leading guys who were, 22, 23, all the way to 18. So it's easy just to fall in like you're all brothers and have fun, right? But you have to remember you're the leader, you're the commander as a young guy. And so you have to be above reproach and you have to maintain the moral high ground. Now, that doesn't mean everybody's perfect. Doesn't mean everybody's perfect. You can have goofy moments. You can have mistakes. But when you lose the moral high ground, this is the major question. When leadership loses the moral high ground, what do we do? What has to happen? It's not a rhetorical question. I'm thinking out loud, okay? And I'm not saying right now, I'm not saying that is exactly the case, but it may very soon very well be. Okay? And we shall see. So, in the meantime, we need to keep our ears to the tracks and our eyes wide open because there's still talks of distractions, right? Other wars, other entanglements that would delay further investigation, further transparency, further due diligence. Okay, so I'm just saying like it is. I'm telling you, as a Marine Corps officer, what I would think of if I was doing an investigation. That's what I would think. If I were running a military operation, I would look at the intelligence picture and I would think, if the enemy's trying to run a deception operation against me, what are they trying to hide? What's this over here, this fire, this fire, this fire? Where is the critical vulnerability I need to hit? And right now there's a big smoke screen. Okay, that is the possibility for what's going on. I'm just telling it like it is. Okay. And again, no one's accused. I think it's coming soon. As soon as I say no one's accused the president of doing anything wrong, I mean, what was being read in these documents, again, they have to be verified. So I want to say this, though. So I'm not being a conspiracy theorist and being sensational. Accurate thinking. Just because it's in a document in the Epstein files, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong. Tell me in the chat if I'm wrong, okay? But this is my other side thinking. Just because it's in a document in the Epstein files, does that make it damning evidence? Or does it just mean that it was a testimony taken from somebody or an email sent from somebody? All this stuff has to be corroborated with other evidence. It has to be corroborated and proven. Okay? Because there's evidence and then there's proof. We talked about this in other live streams before. There's evidence and then there's proof. Okay? Just so I'm maintaining a balanced approach. So it's easy just to dogpile and say, there it is. They said this, therefore it is. Not really. Not always, not really. Okay? Very complex situation. The president has a lot of political opponents and a lot of people trying to take him down. That too. Okay, that is a reality too. They try to shoot the guy. Some people say, oh, it was fake. I don't think so. Okay? Is he Mr. Clean? No. We already knew that about him. I mean, come on. We found all kinds of stuff about him. Stormy Daniels, all this stuff, right? So, I mean, I think we have to let the due process take place. But the thing that concerns me is if we get so distracted with all this crap, wars, Minneapolis, internal conflict, external conflict. It's an old playbook. It's the old Chinese playbook. It's an old Machiavellian playbook, right? Distract within, distract without, turmoil, trouble, sweep away. People aren't looking. All of a sudden the hard drive's gone. The evidence gone. Where'd it go? We don't know. No one knows. Next thing you know, it's over. Okay? And we're so in deep in a conflict that only I can save us. Okay? I'm giving you guys stories and scenarios of what's possible. As critical thinkers, we got to think. Okay? Again, mission here is to upgrade our lives, not to be conspiracy theorists, but so you can make sense of what possibly is happening and you can protect yourself. Okay? All right. Let's keep on rolling. Let's listen a little bit more. And let's keep our critical thinking caps on here. You're going to need it.
This list details a list of sexual assault allegations related to the president. Now, this list was released this morning as part of this document dump, but then suddenly disappeared from the Justice Department's website. That was noticed, called out, that got posted again. The administration claims that snafu was because the site got overloaded. Now, many of the allegations appear to have come from unverified tips. Some are incredibly graphic and disgusting and upsetting, frankly. The files also today released included a complaint from a woman who accused Trump of raping her in 1994 when she was 13 years old.
Okay, remember really quickly, guys, because I know I could be big time conspiracy. If I was just worried about clicks and views, I could be like, whoa, whipping this thing up right now, making everybody nuts. That is rage bait. I talked about it before in a live stream and a podcast. I'm not a rage baiter. I'm an accurate thinker because I want to make you win. I want to win in life. We are doing the operational situational update with as much accuracy and balance as we can, okay? Because you don't want to be pulled down bullcrap aisle 1 or bullcrap aisle 2. You know, you want to be down the center staring at what is the best of our ability to weigh. You know, that's why in justice, Lady Justice is blind with the scales out, right? We want to weigh what evidence we had. A critical piece she said right there. Anonymous tip. A lot of this stuff, some people are reading out loud and getting pumped up because they want you to be rage baited. They want you to watch. Okay, I was gotten, and I'm going to say in their defense, they're probably so fired up. They just want to get it out there because they're disgusted like I was. I got emotional immediately. She said, to be fair, a lot of these are anonymous tips. Okay? Anybody can do that. I can get on right now and be like, so-and-so did this. And then, and I was going to say, and then the aliens came, but maybe the aliens actually did come. It's been a while since I've done an alien show. Then don't think I won't bring the aliens back. Damn it. Because I will. I'll bring them back. I'll bring them right back. If you're not careful. You guys don't fire this chat up. I'll bring the aliens back right now, Becky. Give me a one in the chat if you're following. Unsecure signal. Yes. Hegelian. That's right. Hegel. That's right. We got to keep our laughing going a little bit too. Don't worry. We're going to get our funny. We got the South Leadership Lesson South Park coming. Our comedy and satire coming soon. But we're going to crush this segment on Epstein, okay? But just remember, if we allow just noise to get into our minds, we're going to get rage baited. A key thing she said, I'm going to play it again. And I'm not the defender of the administration. You guys know I'm not MAGA. I'm independent. Calling it like I see it. But this is important. Trust me, this is for me as much as it's for you. I was so pissed off. I didn't know what direction I was going to take this tonight. I might have been like, the hell with everybody. But I want to listen and give you an honest reaction. I'm going to tell you like it is. I'm going to tell it like it is. You guys know that by now. Let's listen to what she says one more time.
And upsetting, Frank. That snafu was because the site got overloaded. Now, many of the allegations appear to have come from unverified tips. Some...
Again, unverified tips. Let's be aware. So as everybody's getting fired up, what is the source? Okay, guys, I'm going to tell you. I got a background in this stuff. I'm not going to talk about everything, but I have a background in this. If you don't, what is the source of your information? Is it verified? Is it real? What's the veracity, the truthfulness of it? How do we know? Is it a credible source? Have we used them before? Have they proven to be worthy and credible, believable, right? So she's already saying anonymous tips from who knows where. And one of them was the nastiest allegation against Trump, I do believe.
Called out, that got posted again. The administration claims that snafu was because the site got overloaded. Now, many of the allegations appear to have come from unverified tips. Some are incredibly graphic and disgusting and upsetting, frankly. The files also today released included a complaint from a woman who accused Trump of raping her in 1994 when she was 13 years old. According to the complaint, the woman, identified as Jane Doe, claims, quote, Epstein was angry that Trump was the one to take Doe's virginity and then went on to rape Doe. That's just disgusting and depraved. It goes on in graphic detail. These descriptions do mirror the allegations of Jane Doe made in her 2016 lawsuit against Trump, a lawsuit that was eventually dropped. Now, at the time, Trump denied the allegations, his attorney telling Politico it is categorically untrue, it is completely frivolous, it is baseless, it is irresponsible. I won't even discuss the merits because it gives it credibility it doesn't deserve. And Trump's DOJ, again, stressing, quote, this production may include fake or falsely submitted images, documents, or videos, as everything that was sent to the FBI by the public was included in the production that is responsive to the act.
But now what I have to ask is this, guys, okay? As a thinking person, again, I'm not like I'm not some President Trump super fan, okay? I'm not, I'm an American. I'm a defender of the Constitution. I've sworn an oath to protect and defend the Constitution, okay, to uphold, support, protect the Constitution of the United States of America, all that stuff like that, okay? And so to protect against all enemies, foreign and domestic, sworn an oath, right, as a Marine Corps officer. And so I want to say this. Trump hasn't been king his whole life, where he's been like, he's not like Kim Jong-un. He's been knocking people off, saying stuff about him. He's a private citizen. A lot of money, powerful. He's not Assad, the Syrian dictator. He's not Xi Jinping. He's not Putin. So what I'm saying is that, could this have happened? Yes. He's been in the spotlight for a long time. He has a lot of money to suppress things. I know that. All true. But I'm saying, is it possible that this is a false allegation? Yes, it is. Why? He has money. They can get money from him. They press him hard enough, they get a $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, $1 million settlement. They're happy. Okay? I'm just saying. It's possible. Okay? It's all possible. And is it possible that he did it? Yes. 100% possible. 100%. But they're both there. We have to learn more. Let's hear some more.
Referring to the act of Congress forcing them to release these files, of which this chunk they're releasing, of course, is a month after the deadline. And while Trump is not accused of any wrongdoing in relation to Epstein at this time, he has fought vehemently and obsessively against the release of the files, lashing out at reporters who have pressed him for a long, long time on why his Justice Department has been so slow to release anything.
We're Phoenix Energy, a family-owned oil company focused on unleashing American oil from North Dakota and Montana.
Phoenix Energy?
I have nothing to do with Jeffrey Epstein. You just keep going on the Epstein files. And what the Epstein is a Democrat hoax. We have nothing to do with Epstein. The Democrats do. All of his friends were Democrats.
Is there something incriminating in the file,
I'm sorry. That's terrible. That is terrible. The quiet piggy moment. I can't believe he said that. That's probably, it's got to be the most unpresidential thing I've ever seen, right? Well, I shouldn't say ever seen, but like, who else says that? Quiet piggy. That's insane. So, yeah, I mean, I think, you guys tell me what you think in the chat. Yep, Liliana, right. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? You tell me in the chat what you guys think about this, okay? You know, I think we're going to learn more. We're going to find out more. The only thing is that, as they say, these are anonymous tips. And now they're getting on the DOJ website. Everyone's blowing it up saying that, like, this is the proof. It's not actually proof. It's not actually proof. It's, I mean, evidence that he had some, you know, some bad things going on, was in some bad situations, no doubt. But it's not actually proof that something happened. Now, for some of the people, 100%, there is so much surrounding evidence. Okay? And for some of these things, I will say this. What I want to say is this. It's very hard to deny. Very hard for any of these people to deny that they didn't know something was going on. Very hard to deny it from what I've seen so far. I'm not an expert in the Epstein files. I'm watching like you guys are. I'm reacting. I've not seen this before. I didn't go do a study of it. But as these things hit me, I'm thinking, okay? And what I would need to see is further evidence that could be looked at as proof. Corroborating evidence of times, dates, money, accounts transferred, evidence that it happened. Test witnesses, things like that, okay? Not anonymous tips saying, there's some crazy stuff out there that, you know, capital crimes occurred, that young girls were taken out, right? All kinds of crazy stuff. But again, now that I hear this, these are anonymous tips. Okay, well, where is the witness? Where is the evidence? Where's the smoking gun? That's what we're looking for, right? Let's keep listening.
You talk about the Epstein hoax. It's just a hoax. The whole Epstein thing is a Democrat hoax.
Joining us now is Virginia Democratic Congressman James Walkinshaw, who
Well, it's definitely not a hoax. That's for sure.
sits on the House Oversight Committee. So, Congressman, the ranking Democrat on the Oversight Committee, Congressman Robert Garcia, released this blistering statement after the files were released, saying, in quote, in part, "We are demanding the names of Epstein's co-conspirators and the men and pedophiles who abused women and girls." Do you accept the government's explanation for the redactions they've made?
No, I don't. I mean, look, the Trump administration and the Department of Justice has slow-rolled this release at every turn. Today, they released 3 million of the 6 million documents we know they have. We know they have 6 million because they said it. They released 50% of the documents, and the 50% we have today are heavily, heavily redacted. So they continue to cover up the full truth that's in the file. So we're going to continue to push the Oversight Committee's investigation. Will continue throughout this Congress and into the next Congress, I suspect. We're not going to stop until we get the transparency that the survivors are demanding.
I mean, there are some of the claims.
But I want to say, too, as we're hyper-focused on the president because he is the president, right? There are so many other people where there is a lot of evidence that is pointing towards maybe even proof. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not an expert in it. But I would say there's a lot more evidence about that. Not just mentions, not anonymous tips, but actually, flight logs, things like that, corroborating evidence of where they were, when things happen, with not maybe testimony, but witnesses, something from a witness, statement from a witness. That's what I was saying, not testimony, but a statement. So you start getting to other people that it'll hurt. Again, people can slander the hell out of you and it doesn't make it true, right? Unless there are actually pictures, videos, money transfers, witnesses that saw you, credible witnesses that say they saw you and they have, the smoking gun of a picture, a photo, corroborating stories of people that didn't know each other, all these things like that. Okay. That's what I'm saying. Again, accurate and effective thinking. Don't get caught up in the spaz attack of, just because certain things are said, and it's very sensational, and it's that it is true, right? We need more. We need to see more. So, but definitely some people, I think it's going to be bad news for quite a few people. I don't know yet if it will be at the highest levels of our government. I don't know. I don't think it hits that threshold yet. And people can get pissed off at me. They can be like, how can you say that? Well, I just said how I can say that because they say it's an allegation. They say it's an anonymous tip. We don't give people the death penalty over an anonymous tip. We don't give people the, we don't put them in jail over an anonymous tip, right? Unless you investigate it and you see there's evidence there. Like I saw this movie, what is it, with Ben Affleck and friggin' Matt Damon, where they get the Crime Stopper tip that there's a stash of money at a house. Really good movie, by the way. But yeah, it's a tip. They go to investigate. There's the money. Oh, okay. It was a good anonymous tip. Well, right now, that's what they're doing. They're looking for the anonymous tip to see if it's there. They find something or they don't. Because in our country, in the United States, you're innocent until proven guilty. Yeah. It's something that we've gotten away from. It's as soon as the media or people on YouTube say you're guilty, right? And I'm saying for everybody, both sides, both sides is crap, okay? I'm politically independent. And not everything is always a discussion about politics. I'm just saying, in your life, how would you like that? If it's like you're getting slandered and people are like, no, you did it. I've had stuff like that. I've seen stuff like that. I've seen it. I've seen where someone hears something about somebody and they automatically assume it. And you're like, how do you know that's true? Well, so-and-so said it. Well, how do they know? Well, I don't know. Okay? Because guess what? If you're wrong about that, there are repercussions too. Okay? So let's keep on rolling here. But I want to hear what you guys think. Let's check out the chat. We got smartest chat on YouTube. Trump wants to fire Cash. LOL. The evidence is out there. It's just a matter of it being suppressed or not. Maybe, Liliana. Maybe. We don't know. We're seeing the evidence is being put out there. That's what I'm saying. But I mean, how do we know that? You know what I mean? I appreciate you saying that. I'm just saying, how do we know? We have to try to know. Yeah, the survivors have been speaking, but may don't want to hear it. Okay. Very true. Okay, Liliana, if that's what you're saying, like Lady Anna is, then I get it. I understand what you're saying. Crusader, heard Vance was a Marine. Yes, he was. That would be great. I appreciate it, Crusader. Yeah, Vance was a Marine for sure. So I guess you're saying that the survivors have been speaking, but no one's listening. So if the survivors' stories corroborate with this stuff, you guys are saying that with all the things that are being released, now we're starting to get some real evidence that could turn into proof. I see what you're saying. Okay, that makes sense. We're going to find out. Yeah, we're going to find out. And yes, he has been the same person. You were right. All right. This is a long one, but I think it's worth us going through it, guys. So hang with me here.
In some of these files are pretty bizarre and don't sound very credible. In your view, should the general public...
Now, see, but here's the thing. I haven't watched this ahead of time, guys. And again, I can't say it enough. I'm not some big super fan of anybody, okay? I'm a super fan of the United States and of freedom, America, the American way, all that stuff. So, peace, love, happiness, all that, American way. And I want to say that you got Anderson Cooper saying, doesn't sound very credible. Anderson Cooper is a pretty sharp cat, and he's working for CNN. He's got no love lost, I think, probably for the administration, although he's a pretty straight shooter, pretty down the middle, but he's still CNN. And he says, they don't sound very credible. Let's hear that again, okay?
Some of the claims in some of these files are pretty bizarre and don't sound very credible. In your view, should the general public, what should the general public take away from these files? How are people supposed to know what's credible and what isn't?
Yeah, I think that's absolutely fair. And, there are a number of uncorroborated or perhaps unverified allegations against President Trump there. And I think what I would say is all of that deserves additional scrutiny. Some of them have been revealed publicly in the past and perhaps have limited credibility, but all of them should be explored. The Oversight Committee in the coming weeks, we're going to be deposing Jeffrey Epstein's accountant, his attorneys, the attorneys for his estate. So we're going to continue to ask questions. And I think this release, although limited, not what the law requires, this release will provide information to guide our questioning as we move forward.
Among the materials that the Deputy Attorney General Blanche said were...
No, honestly, this to me, and you guys can call me crazy if you want to. Call me, Shirley, you must be crazy. I told you not to call me Shirley. Who knows where that's from? If you know where that's from, put it in the chat. All right? And I might have been saying it wrong, but I think it's right. So this is refreshing to hear this congressional leader speak like this, okay? That this release of this information and these files requires us to have more scrutiny. We need to scrutinize it further. Instead of having a spaz attack saying, for sure he's guilty, for sure this and that. There we go, due process of law. Great. Process is important, right? We have a great system. When we stop believing in our legal system and our institutions, it's a big problem. It's a big problem, okay? The rule of law is very important. Now, can things improve? Of course they can. Are some things broken in the system? Sure they are. But, we can't be running a country just on emotion and spaz attack, okay? And I say that also for, sometimes our president is, he's going by his gut and doing a lot of emotional things too, okay? That's a criticism. But this is great to hear a lawmaker saying that having a process, because then they're going to scrutinize it more. They're going to put their magnifying glass on it. They put it under the microscope. They're going to learn more. See if there's something there. If there's something there, then something has to be done. If not, we drive on, right? So what I would say for all of us is, as Anderson Cooper said, what should the public believe? What should they think is credible or not credible, okay? You have to believe that something's going to be done because you have opposite members of the opposite political party members are going to take a look at this, okay, including his own political party. They're going to take a look at this. They're going to try to determine what's real, what's not real. So what I want to say as a general member of the public, do you focus on you, building your life, doing your stuff, okay? Let your voice be heard, informed voice. We're informing our voice right now through some intellectual rigor, through studying and thinking and not just spazzing out saying, I saw a document, therefore the document means that we're all crazy and the world's burning to the ground. Okay, really? Is it? Is it really? Are they trying to distract you? Maybe there's no one else trying to distract you, right? I'm going to tell you what, no one's going to be paying your bills. You better get on it. No one's going to build your business for you. You better get on it. So that's what I'm saying. Clickbait, rage bait, CNN, Fox, YouTube, everything, okay? If they are pulling your emotional strings, distracting you to the point where you're so angry. I was so angry the other day when I first saw the story, okay? You're so angry. You're so distracted. You're going down the rabbit hole. You think you're friggin' Sherlock Holmes digging in on all this stuff. Inform yourself. Learn about it. Critical thinking. See if there's some action you need to take. Is there a vote you need to do? A voice? Do you need to write to your congressman? Do you need to do something like that? Do you need to be politically active? An activist, maybe. I don't know. Okay, that's up to you. Do you need to peacefully protest? That's up to you. I don't know. Okay? But otherwise, no one's paying for your bills unless you're a paid protester. Then maybe they are. But no one's doing your business for you. You got to focus on building yourself up. Stay focused on your mission. Okay? It's too easy to get rage baited out. And next thing you know, you went down the rabbit hole for 4 or 5 hours a day and all this stuff. And you gave a lot of attention to all these different channels and all this stuff. But your stuff isn't done. And my job is to upgrade your life with my channel, with all my programs, with all my stuff. Okay? So got to stay on track here. You can't get down the rabbit hole too much. Get informed. All leaders must stay informed. Stay informed, critically think, Don't get down the rabbit hole where you crush yourself. Okay, you lose all your time. Yeah, CNN would want you to keep them on all day. Fox, all day. YouTube channels, they'd want you to play them all day. You can play mine all day. Now, if it's a channel that is supportive, uplifting, informative, teaches you things, great. Okay? I listen to business channels all the time. I listen to strategic geopolitical channels all the time. I don't listen to conspiracy theorist channels. I don't. All right? Sometimes, once in a while, I mean, for the alien stuff, I sometimes will. Not anymore right now, but if I'm researching. Because it's fun. And if it's real, it's insane. Okay? But if it's things that are like really trying to get you rage baited, it doesn't serve anything. Give me the evidence. Give me accuracy. Give me something that is real. Weigh it on both sides. And then once you've learned some, dedicate a little bit of time, move on. Make your decision for that day, and that's it. Move on. Okay? So you keep your eyes open, but you don't get sucked down the rabbit hole. Okay, I'm going to get off my soapbox on that. Let's keep going here. And I believe Anderson is almost done. And then we're going to go to something else.
Were withheld from this release were filed.
His attorneys, the attorneys for his estate. So we're going to continue to ask questions. And I think this release, although limited, not what the law requires, this release will provide information to guide our questioning as we move forward.
Among the materials that the Deputy Attorney General Blanche said were withheld from this release were files that would jeopardize an active federal investigation. Is it clear to you what investigative avenues remain at this point, or if there are any active federal investigations ongoing into this?
I have no insight into the active investigations that the Department of Justice might be engaged in. Obviously, we know President Trump has done what he has done repeatedly and directed the Department of Justice to investigate his political opponents or Democrats with respect to Epstein. I hope that's not the path they're doing. If there are real, legitimate investigations based on what they've learned in the files, those should proceed without any interference or involvement from President Trump.
And as we mentioned, the Deputy Attorney General Blanche said that unredacted files would be made available to lawmakers who coordinate with the Department of Justice. Is there a plan to do that? I mean, obviously, it's a lot of files. Is that even possible?
I know that Congressman Khanna and Massey have written a letter asking to review those unredacted files. I think the Democrats on the Oversight Committee and hopefully Republicans as well will be talking about how we can coordinate to review those unredacted files. I certainly want to understand what's been redacted and, more importantly, why.
Congressman James Walkinshaw, I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Okay, that was a Congressman, James Walkinshaw, and I agree with him. We want to see what is in the redacted files and why they redacted them. I think it's very important, okay? And again, I appreciate what he's saying. I support that deeper investigation, independent investigation, not from the administration. Makes no sense. That'd be like me as a battalion commander. We're going to do our own investigation on our missing stuff, right? No, you have to have somebody else come in and look at it so you can see, be transparent, right? Or investigate your budget, look at your budget, all by yourselves, all internal, right? And you might make mistakes, but independent investigation wing is very important for these cases. All right, let's listen to this really quick. I don't want to spend too much more time on this because we could do a 6-7 hour show on this, right? I could do it every day on this, and there's some people doing that, okay? But again, we got to drive on, and we got to, make decisions for our lives and focus on what we can control. Focus on what you can control is so important, okay? We're going to look at the chaos. We're going to look at the world on fire. We're going to deal with the crazy show. And then as we're doing it, we're going to thrive in the chaos. We're going to drive forward, have a plan for how we navigate the madness in order to achieve our objectives, right? That's the plan. That's the plan. The purpose of this channel, purpose of everything I do, right? My mission is to be an inspirational leader to create positive, lasting change in the lives of others. And that's part of this channel. The main reason to upgrade your life. But we first of all need to understand the operating context, our operating environment, the situation. Any mission we ever planned in the Marines, you always started out in SMEAC. The S in SMEAC was situation. So we got to know what the situation is before we go on our mission. All right, here we go. Let's check this out.
The Trump Justice Department was forced to release millions of new Epstein files. We're still going through them.
Let's see who this
I'm going
guy
to show
is,
you
first
some
of
of the
all.
key. The The Trump Justice Department was forced to release millions of new Epstein files. We're still going through them. I'm going to show you some of the key ones and what we're learning. I'm Ari Melber, attorney and journalist. There's been a lot of coverage of this and a lot of headlines and social media looking at certain names and certain emails. We've built a timeline here.
Truth be told, I know nothing about this guy. I found his video. It seemed informative. We'll check it out together. If we like it, we keep it. If we don't, we'll move on. Okay, let's just check it out. He seemed like he had it together and sounds like he's pretty knowledgeable. He's got some good credentials. He's a credible witness. Let's go.
Here on the beat on MS Now to look at some of the key points.
Boy.
We all know.
All right, already qualifying it. It's MS Now. We know what direction this is going to go. Let's just listen. Keep a critical eye, okay? It's MS Now, so he's already going to lean to the left. So we know that, but try to just glean the facts, okay? Based on what we saw on CNN, we're getting some left-leaning stuff here. That's fine, right? And then, we're going to hear some stuff. I think I have something over here. Yes, there it is. Fox News Alert. There it is. So we'll go to Fox afterwards. All right. Stay balanced. Here we go.
We know the probe against Epstein started here in Florida all the way back here in the early 2000s, around 2005 in the Bush era. What we've learned new for the first time in the 3 million files.
Call me crazy, but it started in 2005 in the Bush era. I know some of you might be saying, yeah, Ben, how don't you know that? I probably did at some point. You guys got to remember, I've taken some hits to the head here. So some of that stuff I might forget. Let's keep going. 2005 in the Bush era is when it started, the probes. All right, this is already worth it. In Palm Beach, Florida. Bam.
Started here in Florida all the way back here in the early 2000s, around 2005 in the Bush era. What we've learned new for the first time in the 3 million files is that while he was indicted there was a sex trafficking indictment of him at DOJ under the Bush Justice Department that was discarded. Now, we've heard a lot about the sweetheart deal, but what the government essentially has been hiding for all these years is that they had a 55-page plus case with evidence, with witnesses, written up, ready to go, and that was discarded. So instead, Epstein was indicted and given only a year in prison. This case would have ended everything. He could have been in prison for decades if convicted. And so the files are showing part of why the government may have covered it up. Some people may be in the files. Some people may have reasons to cover up what they may have done or visited or their relation with Epstein. But we also see why government cover-ups can last. This was the same thing we've seen back all the way to Nixon and Watergate. If the government had this written case and everything we know now about Epstein, and yet it was pulled and they gave him this sweetheart deal, well, that puts a lot of pressure on everyone. The files now show us this, which is why this transparency is constructive, even if there's still secrecy to be fought. If you want more details, it was Alex Acosta, later promoted by Trump into his first-term cabinet, who struck this deal.
Okay, this is. I'm glad I'm watching this now. Okay, guys, give me a 1 in the chat if you think this video right now with this dude, Ari, the lawyer, journalist, is useful. Give me a 1 in the chat if you want to keep watching and me reacting and all of us reacting to this video with Ari, the lawyer. I like the timeline personally. I think this is pretty informative, but give me a 1 in the chat if you think this one is yes, OJ was a naked gun. The plot thickens. It's all conspiracy. They're all connected. OJ's in the Epstein files. No, I don't think he is. I'm just saying that. Okay, good. 2, Crusader says no. Mark says yes. Liliana says yes. Lady Ann says yes. Okay. Ooh, in the 9th, Maxwell goes on stand. Wow. Crusader. Okay, Crusader says yes. Okay, awesome. The Diamond Dog, yes. I mean, this is pretty good. He's got a good little timeline, too. If nothing else, this is marine proof. This is marine proof right here, guys. That's what we'd call this. Has big pictures, big arrows. I can't get it wrong. Fellow Marines, this is for you. Let's go.
Is constructive, even if there's still secrecy to be fought. If you want more details, it was Alex Acosta, later promoted by Trump into his first-term cabinet, who struck this deal. Epstein had hired Republican lawyers and other politicos and powerful people, and apparently got this thing pulled. This was also around the time that a current Trump official, Lutnick, said was his last contact with Epstein. And he rode that defense for many years. He's still...
Okay. So again, some of you might know this already, but I'm just putting this together. This dude down here, the bald-headed goatee beard guy, okay, Lutnick is in Trump's administration right now. He was the one whose wife said, we'll be on a yacht called the Excellence. We'll come and see you, Jeffrey. Okay, and he said, Jeffrey's disgusting, can never be around him. But shortly thereafter, his wife was contacting him saying, we're going to be down there and see you. Crazy stuff, man. Crazy stuff. Here we go.
In the Trump cabinet today, but the new files show that was also false by his own emails. I'm going to show you a few other things we're learning. As for the emails, and these have gotten a lot of attention, all the way back then, Lutnick said last contact, but he was actually emailing to arrange a visit to the island. And later, there was an email from another associate saying it was nice to see someone in his group.
Wow.
He's denying that he went. Elon Musk, who famously accused Donald Trump of being in the Epstein files, the new files show him saying he wanted to come on the wildest party night, day or night, asking about that. He says he never went down there. But this, again, shows just how many important, powerful people. Musk was like a super cabinet official, and they were all fighting against having these files released, against what Congress ultimately passed, and this gives us a lot more information why. We knew that the Miami Herald is what reopened this case with public pressure, which started the Trump DOJ probe. Everybody knows that Epstein was indicted, died in prison. Under the Trump DOJ, they say they lost the video footage, but they ruled it an apparent suicide. That remains under scrutiny because the Epstein transparency law asks for a lot more information about that. But here's what's new. This is a suspect list. This is what the feds internally had with Epstein at the center, some people redacted, and several other people, his lawyer, accountant, and others, with lines coming off of him.
Wow. Okay, this is actually really worth it now. Looking at this. Possible suspect list. So this is what they're working on right now. This is pretty wild, man. Yeah, I'm loving the flowchart too, Crusader. I'm with you. Because this graphic, this visual helps so much to understand like the timeline where it really, victims recently rescued say they have seen him. Who's that lady, Ann? Who have they seen? Tell me in there. Show us the email. Yeah, I know, right? Right, it is a great game of Clue. Unfortunately, it's real. Hey, Cedric. Is Cedric here? What's up, Ced? Oh, okay. Doge is a cover-up. I see what you're saying. Oh, you mean for Elon? Okay, lady, and you mean for Elon? Okay. Oh, recently seen. You mean Epstein? No. Some people are saying that. What? Wow. Crazy stuff. All right. Well, let's learn what's happening.
And yet, to this day, the DOJ had, with Epstein at the center, some people redacted, and several other people, his lawyer, accountant, and others, with lines coming off of him. And yet, to this day, the DOJ never pursued these cases, even though we now see something you rarely see, a kind of a mob suspect list chart they were building of who to follow. So one of the things we're going to continue to report on is why that and later Justice Departments didn't pursue those leads. You can always subscribe to us on YouTube here for these legal breakdowns and stay informed. Hey, it's Ari and Finn.
Okay, that was a great one. That was a great little, is that 50 Cent? Looks like 50 Cent. I might be wrong. It definitely looks like him. Okay, so there's a lot there. So some people are saying, I've heard this now, that he's alive. I saw somebody put something out that Charlie Kirk's alive. You know, honestly, I can't buy any of it. You know, I mean, Epstein being alive, possibly. That's possible. Faking his death. But, you know, people will say anything to get clicks and get likes and get views. And you know, a survivor saying that's one thing. But we don't know. All right, let's check this out. Another one. Keep our investigation going here.
Hillary Clinton speaking out for the first time since scheduling a hearing in the House investigation into Jeffrey Epstein, slamming Republicans on the committee and calling for live public testimony. We'll get right at now to News Nation Washington correspondent Tom Dempsey live at the White House. Tom, can you break down what the former First Lady had to say?
Yeah, this is quite the announcement coming down from former First Lady Hillary Clinton, saying that she wants the House Oversight Committee to hold a public hearing for all the world to see, and in front of TV cameras in front of the House Oversight Committee, all for a hearing dealing with the Jeffrey Epstein investigation. Wow. So for our viewers who might not have been following this recently, on one side of this, you have the House.
Hey, who's for that? Who's for a public Jeffrey Epstein files hearing with the Clintons? Who's for that? With the cameras, live stream? I'm for that. But if you're for that, put a 1 in the chat. If you're for that, a live hearing with the Clintons in the House committee on this, put a 1 in the chat. I want to see who would be for that. Let me see what our last poll is. Will Epstein case result in a major impact on U.S. political and elite leadership landscape? 1 hour ago, 62% say yes, 38% say no. Appreciate it. May as well. Yep, I agree. Yep. Awesome. On TV. I agree.
Oversight Committee that is leading this investigation into the Jeffrey Epstein case, and recently voted to recommend contempt of Congress charges with the Department of Justice against the Clintons for refusing to be interviewed. But fast forward to this morning, you have former First Lady Hillary Clinton writing this: "Let's stop the games. If you want this fight," Representative James Comer, he's the Republican chairman of the House Oversight Committee, she says, "let's have it in public. You love to talk about transparency. There's nothing more transparent than a public hearing. Cameras on. We will be there." Again.
Boom. We will be there. Nice. Nice. In the face.
The House Oversight Committee, led by Republican James Comer, is leading this investigation into the Jeffrey Epstein case. On the other side of this, you have the Clintons, who say they did have a connection to Jeffrey Epstein, a friendship with Jeffrey Epstein, but they deny any sort of knowledge of crimes going on. And again, there's been this big standoff over the last several weeks between.
All right, it sounds like they're going to get something going here. You know, I mean, I think a public hearing would be absolutely amazing to have that. Again, it's about time we have some public transparency, have some transparency in all this. So I'll tell you what, guys, we are running up against the clock. I'm running up against the clock right now. Okay. I can't do a full Benathon tonight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to move the segment on Iran to another live stream, okay, to a later stream. I can't do it right now. I'm running up against the clock. This took a little longer than I thought, all right? So we're going to jump right into our leadership lessons of South Park. I'm not going to leave you hanging on that, though. All right, let's get right into this right now. And I will compile an even bigger, better show on the Iran situation. It bears its own show, I believe, and we'll do that, okay? But I've got some doozies for you, and I've been avoiding this one for a while, but it might be about time we play it, okay? But these videos do not represent the views of the management of the Ben Pappas channel in any way, shape, or form. And without further ado, let's go ahead and go into the Leadership Lessons South Park right now. You guys have been hanging in there, okay? And we cannot do the full Benathon right now, but we're going to jump right into Leadership Lessons South Park. Let's do this thing. Here we go. Fun time. That's right. Let's go. And if I can figure out how to play this, here we go. Oh, no. Honestly, this one is too funny. This is too funny.
Are you looking for a new career? Why not join the ICE? We have jobs available now with up to a $50,000 signing bonus. Signing bonus? We don't ask for experience. Just show up. We don't care if you've read a book or grown up. If you're crazy or fat and lazy, we don't care at all.
I'm proud to work for the ICE.
Immigration and customs enforcement. If you need a job, it's a job to have.
Mr. Garrison. Oh my gosh. I've seen that one pop up so many times. and I haven't used it, but today was the day. So anyway, of course, leave it to South Park. No one's immune. No one's immune to getting blasted, right? I mean, we can all be in the line of fire of South Park at some point. But obviously, for obvious reasons, ICE is right in the crosshairs there. Anyway, all right, let's move on to the next one. Another similar thing. All right, and I support all law enforcement, okay? I just want to say that. So, but these are some pretty damn funny videos. No joke. This one's, the other one I hadn't seen. This one I've actually seen. This one's pretty damn funny. All right, here we go.
We got some! Mexicans at 2 o'clock! Let's get ready, recruits! Must be a couple dozen of them!
Oh my God.
This is the U.S. Border Patrol. Stop where you are. Turn around and get back to work.
There's too many of them! We're gonna need backup!
What? Oh my
You're pretty
God.
good at stopping Mexicans, son. What's your name?
Cartman. Eric T. Cartman.
We got some! Mexicans at 2 o'clock!
Well, there you have it, folks. That is the comedy segment for tonight. Take from it what you will. Yes, that is indeed the lesson. Leadership lessons of South Park is, if you push the envelope so far, you're going to get made fun of. That's the big lesson. But they're in some tough spots. Definitely, those enforcement officers are in some tough spots as well too. It's a very politically charged environment. All of that, but no one's immune from the blasting of South Park. So I hope you guys enjoy that. Hey, I appreciate all of you being here. Thank you so much. Like I always say, make yourselves better, make the world better. Have an amazing, amazing weekend. Hope you had a good laugh to kick off your weekend there as well too. And I appreciate all of you guys. All right. I appreciate you guys being here. Best chat in YouTube. Thanks so much for your support and for everything you do. Hopefully you got a lot out of this one tonight. Definitely out of the GaryVee segment. That was super awesome to just play some of those videos and be there and talk about these things with you guys, okay? And then obviously, we're looking at the problems in front of us right now, the operating context, the operating environment, the situation we have to operate in. Like I said, when we form a mission, we create a mission in the Marine Corps, really in any part of the military. We start with the SMEAC 5-paragraph order format. The S in SMEAC is situation. You have to know your operating context. You have to know what's going on in order to form a plan and execute successfully. All right, make yourselves better, make the world better. Have an amazing, amazing time. I will let you know when the live stream is going to go about the Iran situation because we did not get to cover it tonight. And believe in yourselves. I believe in you, and go get yours. Let's go. Have a great weekend, everybody. I will talk to you all soon.